All right, we're back at it again. As much as I would like to say the next words on my mind, I kind of don't want to because I get the feeling that I will regret it if I do. So I will not. And instead, I will simply say we're here. We're ready to go. 4:30, 4:31. So let's say like 2.5 minutes we'll get started. Although I will have to briefly step away from the microphone in approximately 20 minutes. Actually, it's more like 18 because I have to go tend to our dinner. So all right. So yeah, like 1.5 we'll get started. And then we'll get moving. What is that sitting on the floor? A rock. How did that get there? Who knows? Oh, but it's in the garbage now, so that's the important part. All right. Just wanted to take a nap before work, huh, Marie? No naps! Not around here. I would have to change my stream setting to just sleeping, if that was the case. I have never really understood that trend, to be honest with you, of people watching other people sleep, but, I mean, hey, the internet is the internet, whatever. Live and let live, that's what I always say. But hello, Marie, how you doing? Welcome. You could always take a nap to the dulcet tones of my voice, but I don't know, I get the feeling I'd cause some nightmares if that was the case. Oh boy. And I mean, this stuff is just, we're going to be basically rehashing things that have already been seen on the stream anyway, so it's not really a huge deal. Got back into 14 because your boyfriend. Combat feels so bland, but they actually improved gathering and crafting. I know, it's weird, right? Like, you'd think they would have, the central focus of the game, they would have also made it so that it didn't feel as, I don't know, tapioca. I'm going to salvage that as an adjective now. It feels so tapioca. It's just so uniform and not particularly interesting in a lot of cases. They have competency, just not for balancing the thing the game is designed around. Yeah. And with a new expansion around the corner, who knows what further lengths they will take from where they already are. So, you got 4.6 million EXP from your Grand Company turn. Yeah, those are crack, dude. Like, those turn-ins are OP as sin, especially if it's like starred for the day. Like, oh my lord, you can level a crafter from 1 to 80 in no time flat now, just because of beast tribes and Grand Company turn-ins. It's nuts. So, yeah, instant level ups for botanist and miner. I believe it. I definitely believe it. So. 4:35. Let's wait till my other clock over here says 4:35, and then we'll turn on the game again. Excuse me. I had a rather good piece of chicken pot pie for lunch, and it's attacking me now. But that's all right. Screen is nostalgic AF. It hurts. Well, take it all in while you can, because unfortunately this is the second to last PS2 game that... Second to last? Yeah, second to last PS2 game that we will ever play on native hardware. Every other PS2 game in my collection that I would actually want to stream has been re-released in some way, either on the PSN for the PS3 or as a high-definition remake on the PS3 or the PS4 of some kind. So this is the second to last one, and the final one we're going to be playing probably right after this one, and it's not a long game, so take it in. Last one is KH1, a 60-plus hour JRPG. Oh yeah, for sure. Recom. I have to play Recom. I have to play Rechain of Memories, which is also on the PS2 now. I've got the whole collection on PS4 at this point, so we'll just be playing the rest of the Kingdom Hearts series on the PS4. I got to get back to that at some point, but I'll probably do that, like, it'll be like one of those high priority things I need to do after I'm done with all the GameCube games I want to do after this, and there's like 4 of those, so yeah, we'll work on all of that. But I think the first thing I'll be playing once we're done with all of this project is going to be Final Fantasy II, because I have been waiting for so long to play that, to finally get all of the things I know about it off my mind and on the internet. So we'll figure that out when we get there. Show you how much of a scrub you are. I don't think you're that much of a scrub. I just think that I've been beating my head against the wall that is Final Fantasy II for probably going on 15, 16 years now, something like that. It'll be 20 in a few years. 2023 or 2024, whenever the game came out. So I've been beating my head against the wall for that many, like once a year, every year since then. So I just... Eventually something starts to stick, you know? Still don't fucking understand it. What the fuck does Aura do? Oh, we'll get to that, don't worry. GBA Chain of Memories is horrible. Yeah, it is. It's unfortunate because it's probably going to be the version that we end up playing. I don't particularly like Recom for one specific reason. Sora goes through puberty like that in Recom because his voice actor did the voice acting for Recom in 2009 in English, I think. So we might end up playing the GBA version just because of the fact that it retains Sora's voice so that he doesn't immediately go through puberty while... Just like as soon as Kingdom Hearts 1 ends, he just popped through puberty overnight. I don't know. It ruins the immersion for me, so we might end up playing Chain of Memories on GBA anyway. Will I enjoy it? No, but I don't think I would enjoy Chain of Memories anyway, so... Okay, it's 4:37. Let's get this started. I'm gonna hate myself. Oh, it'll be a time. It will be an experience, that's for sure. I'll tell you what. Okay, I'm going to shut up and let the intro speak for itself for a moment, and then I will be back in 2.5 minutes-ish, 2 minutes-ish when it's done. Whoa. Deja vu. It's like I've been to this place before. But let's try this one again, shall we? How you doing, everybody? My name is Monochromium, and this is Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga 2. Again, for some of us here. You may recall, if you've been around for a little bit, that I actually started playing this game, and I played about 5 streams of it a couple of weeks back, and I decided, because of some IRL frustrations, that I needed to take a break from streaming. And I did take a break from streaming and actually beat this game on my own time in about 5 days from the point that we were at. It took about 5 days to go beat it, playing it on and off over the course of the day. And the game was so good that I decided to play it again basically a week later. So it's might not exactly be as fresh as I'd like it to be, but I also didn't want the plot details to get lost, so I said, you know, it's probably better. I was going to play an SMT game on the side anyway, no matter what I was going to play for the stream at this point, so I said it might as well just be better to just play this, scratch the SMT itch anyway, and, you know, we'll conclude the story that we started a few weeks ago. It's been a couple of months, I think, since we started DDS1, so I didn't want the plot details to get lost, so I thought it'd be best to just start it up again. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start it up again. But first, let's go to the configuration menu so we can listen to the fancy piano that they got in the background. He was in the intro. He is confirmed to be alive and in the game. Oh, he's here all right. That's for sure. Hey, Conker. It's going good. How's it going for you there? It has been a little while. But we're back at it now, so and we're ready to rock and thunder, so... I did go through it pretty quick, yeah. My dude, why are you plowing through this game? It's actually not terribly long. It surprised me because we had played at that point, like, what, 15 hours or something of the game? I think it only took me an additional 25 hours total to play the rest of the entire game from the point that we stopped. So, yeah, it's not exactly incredibly long. It's, like I said, they split these games up into 2, so they wouldn't scare people off with a large RPG. So instead of like an 100-hour experience, if you're just playing it the way I played it, where you don't do everything in the game, you end up with 2 approximately 40 to 45-hour experiences, which is a nice, I think, length for an RPG. It never drags in any particular space, and the plot keeps moving along at a fairly decent clip, so yeah, it's pretty good. I enjoy it. Also, remember this music. Shoji Meguro is nothing if not a musical genius when it comes to being a composer, and he likes to use leitmotif in this game, so keep that one in mind. Turn vibration off. I don't need position select to remember. I don't need auto repeat, because if I'm going to hit auto, it's just because I want to smack things in the face with my bone sword arms, and camera mode is fine. Alright, so that's all taken care of. Let's start a new game, shall we? And in case it wasn't obvious, since I beat this on my own time over the course of a few days during my break, this will no longer be a blind stream through of Digital Devil Saga 2. I know fairly well what I'm doing at this point, and I will hopefully be able to, if there's any questions about the plot that aren't clear, hopefully I'll be able to clear them up for everybody because I have a decent idea of what goes on in the game as we go along, so... Doing good, got back from grocery shopping almost an hour ago, made yourself a couple of burgers for lunch. Nice, Conker, sounds good. That reminds me, in about 5 minutes I'm going to have to step away from the microphone for a hot minute. So probably during the intro cutscene I'll have to step away for a hot minute, and I will have to go turn off my food for dinner. Although, I could step away right now and take care of it. 5 minutes, 4 minutes now isn't going to kill it. It's in the slow cooker, so like it's really not a huge deal. Like 4 minutes isn't going to be a big deal. I think I will step away and do that. I will be back in like 15 seconds and then we'll get started with a new game. So hold your horses. There we go. Okay, we're good. Let me not fall down the stairs on my way back here. That would not be good. Oh, if I sound more alert than usual, by the way, it's for two reasons. One, well, actually, it's for three reasons. One, I've been getting more sleep than I was previous to this because I'm no longer dealing with the insomnia that I was dealing with my my allergy pill that I had. The insomnia I actually was able to take away because it was just a matter of balancing my melatonin levels out and taking the pill at a different time of day. So I actually took the pill for my allergies. I'm taking it at lunch now, and then after dinner I take a chewable melatonin pill, which helps me to sleep during that. In addition to that, the tree pollen season is almost over here. There's just a couple more days left of it, and then I can cut back on all of that anyway. And by the time I'm done with that, my melatonin levels will have balanced out as well. So, but of course, because I'm taking the allergy pill at lunch, that means I just took it like 2 hours ago. So if I sound a little bit like more hyperactive than usual, it's because of that hyper awake state that I was talking about before, where I sound like, I don't know. There were certain situations where I would just like stay awake until 4 a.m. for no apparent reason, unable to fall asleep at all, even though I was dead tired. So yeah, not fun, but it's been fixed. It's just that now I might be a little more hyper during the streams themselves because of when I take my allergy pill, at least for the next couple of weeks while I ride out the storm of tree pollen. So yeah, that's how that goes. Anyway, so we're starting a new game, but if we have a cleared game data from Digital Devil Saga 1, you can actually import it into Digital Devil Saga 2, and I do have one right here. So let's take it, and we will load it up into DDS2, and that will get us a few little things, including some rare items becoming available, and game difficulty becoming selectable. You actually can't select hard mode in this game by default if you don't have a DDS1 cleared save data available on your memory card. So by unlocking it, or by importing it, we've unlocked hard mode. And naturally, because of the fact that I'm a bit of a masochist, we will be playing the game on hard mode, and hopefully this time I'll make it look a little bit less troublesome than it actually is, because hard mode in DDS2 is, well, it's harder, obviously, than DDS1, because DDS1 didn't have a difficulty select. But it's similar to Nocturne in a way that if you know what you're doing and you plan ahead in terms of your skill learning a little bit, it's much more manageable than it would be otherwise. So hopefully this time we have a plan in place. I know what to do. We'll see if we can do it. Art, characters, and storylines as depicted in this game are purely work of fiction. Any similarity to persons living or dead purely coincidental. The views and opinions expressed here and do not necessarily reflect on Atlas USA or its employees. I may have missed one or two words there. Who cares? You get the point.
Careful, guys.
Also children.
Don't run too fast, okay?
And yes, apologies to those who have seen this previously from the 5 streams we did. It's going to feel like a bit of deja vu for everybody until we get to the point where we were.
What is this leaf made out of?
These kids look awfully familiar.
Data.
But he's new.
It's like people's thoughts.
That's not really an explanation.
I've always wondered about things. Questions like, who are we? Or what is this world really made of? They discovered molecules and atoms, and then they found even smaller particles. Finally, the most basic building block was so small that it could only be defined as data.
The metaphysical computer chip in every living thing.
It all goes back to people's thoughts.
How does someone's thought grow a tree?
They return to their
Well,
origins.
I mean, I suppose if your thoughts were, hey, I'm going to grow a tree.
I don't really get it.
Yeah, I don't know if many people do there, kid.
I didn't either at your age.
Just took them out.
Cool, thanks.
But
I
now,
let them stay in the
I
house
think
for a
I
little
do.
bit, cool off.
Where we came from and where we're going.
All these not meaningless things, as this game will show us. Only took them, 20-something years to figure that whole thing out. But then again, answering the question, what's the meaning of life, does take a little while. as you'll see from this
A
game.
world set on the verge of death. Science created by men who acted as gods, assumed our image, and betrayed its creator's purpose.
Well, that's not very nice.
Mankind signed a contract for great power and wealth. Without realizing, they had signed their own death warrant.
Maybe next time read the fine print, guys.
I suppose it couldn't be helped, with people wasting their minds on drinking and worse.
You really specifically highlighted drinking there. I wonder if that's important.
Had quite the price to pay. Needless to say, it was a lot more serious than paying off the barkeeper.
Do those little kids even know what a barkeeper
Blazing black
is?
sun, ruins and wastelands stretching as far as the eye could see. Plants withered from the corrupt data of the sunlight. And people turned to stone, trapped forever between life and death.
Yep, this is it. The
survivors were
apocalypse.
forced underground, far away from their old lives. The
It
lucky
looks like
few
the wall
chosen by
market
the
in
Karma
here.
Society lived in a sanctuary formed of God's wisdom, oblivious to the chaos outside. Hell. That's what it was. Hell.
Actually, I'm not sure about that, sir. In hell, there's bliss in the fact that you no longer have to worry about the choices you made. Here, consequences for everyone. So this must be worse than hell.
You men, follow me.
Yeah, the under and or, indeed. Yeah, something like that. Actually, I think the under and or is actually a little bit better than this situation. And now, just in case the DDS-1 wasn't fresh in your mind,
The junkyard.
here you
A
go.
city of rusted iron and constant rain.
I've come to help everyone.
Its people lived in divided tribes and committed themselves to a never-ending war. All for a chance to reach the paradise called Nirvana.
Only to get there and find out it's shit.
Given the power of Atma, demons, by the Karma Temple, they ended the war with gnashing teeth as enemies devoured enemies.
Well, everybody's got to eat,
At
man.
last, they materialized here, in this world, searching for the girl who held the key to everything.
But where is Sarah? Find out right now. No, in about 15 hours, actually. But we'll try to find her right now.
So, you're saying...
Ah,
this
I see the cat followed us out of the simulation. Somehow.
Based on the information at hand, it's a logical conclusion.
Who knows why, but
I assume the others
I'm sure that's not important for the story at all. Nope.
These kids, except for the soldiers, are the only people I've seen, but... I'm sure Cielo and Heat are okay.
There seems to be a bit of an elephant in the room here.
we must locate Sarah,
We'll talk about it in a minute.
this world and the junkyard, and our true identities. Sarah has answers.
And if we want them, we'll have to find her.
These guys outside first.
Yeah, that's probably a good first step.
Who are they, anyway? They just attacked without warning.
Their Karma Society.
Oh, Gale turned. Yep. Close the curtain. Not Karma Temple?
The soldiers come from Karma City to, hunt other humans.
We just know them by a different name. That's all.
That's right, for food. Those bastards can turn into demons. They eat whoever they can get their hands on.
And the Black Sun, the statues, are those related to the Karma Society as well?
I can bet.
Cannot be serious. Of course they're related. The old hag that discovered the stone disease is their boss. Savior of all mankind, my butt.
Yeah, they don't seem to be doing much about saving people.
Our logical destination should be Karma City.
Well, at the very least, if we don't find Sarah there, we'll find the Karma Society and they'll know.
Hey, you're gonna get killed! They may have captured our comrades.
And we can defend ourselves. Don't worry about it.
Do you know of a route to the city?
Sorry, I don't. But I know a guy who does. He's kind of a loser, though.
He can't be much more of a loser than our other two friends who are not here currently with us.
Rescue your comrades.
They weren't losers anyway, though.
If this is a trick, you'll regret it. I don't trust you adults.
I thought you were fighting against the society. We are making this agreement as warriors. Why would a warrior's age be relevant?
Yeah, so you remember how
Warriors.
Gale didn't really have much development in the first game because he didn't awaken to his emotions until like the second to last dungeon?
All right.
They fixed that in this game. He has all the good one-liners. Kid, I don't know if you are aware of this, but we didn't exactly do whatever it is you're trying to do where we came from.
Handshake.
Okay.
Haven't you ever shaken hands before?
Surf and no, probably not.
He's the leader of our tribe. I'm Argilla. Mr. Personality.
Oh yeah, I mean,
is Gale.
the kid is smart, that's true. You know,
Okay then.
don't trust adults, especially when they go around hunting and murdering people. Like, I mean, I think that's pretty fair. Yeah, the people can leave the under and not die. So yes, much better than this place. Want to be a geomancer, lucky brats. They are practically babies, yeah. Chibi cast indeed. Okay, so we have control. Now let's see what everybody has to say, and then we'll head out. No, they're probably one and the same. Yep. So we go there, we'll find them, and then we'll be able to figure things out, hopefully. Yeah, I guess we weren't so lucky, but maybe if we go there, we'll be able to figure it out. Yeah, that is incidental here. Like, I mentioned when we first played this game and I was playing it blind for the stream, you know, it's kind of weird that Surf is actually in the party to start with, because I figured, like, the first half of the game, basically, was going to be spent with us playing as our other party members looking for Surf himself, because he was separated from the group back when DDS1 ended. But considering the batshittery that this game's story ends up being, I don't think I ended up being disappointed, even though that's not the case. But speaking of which, Heat and CeeLo, we haven't seen them, so you think they're all right? I mean, I would imagine. They're probably able to take care of themselves, but that's fair. That is fair, Argilla. That is true. What do you suppose this is? Well, we can't inspect it here, but that's a kitchen. Yeah, none of the stuff in here is inspectable, but we will be inspecting more of the background stuff in the area that we're going to be going through here than I did initially, because I didn't really look on the shelves or at the kitchens enough when I mean, we looked at the kitchen every time, basically, but other than that, yeah. So we'll look at more stuff. Smells like Atlas writing. Oh, probably, yeah. That would make sense. It's a long block, I'll tell you what. Maybe if they didn't put up so many barricades, it wouldn't be so long. Well, hopefully when we get to the other side, things will be less shit. But, I mean, the whole world's kind of shit because apocalypse, so... Yeah, they, we knew them by a bit of a different name where we came from. It's kind of a long story. Don't worry about it. I don't think you can check in on the cat, by the way. I don't think he's under the bed anymore, so... Some soldiers can be heard talking. They're around here somewhere. Keep searching! I'm just gonna go over here first then, since you guys are in that direction. Usually if someone talks to you in a specific direction, that means that's where the plot is, and so that means you need to go in a different direction to make sure you don't end up where the plot is and you don't miss anything. So yeah, we'll check out the shelves and we'll check everything else out, including these glowing treasure chests that look like they're straight out of, I wanted to say Mass Effect, but almost not really, because the treasure chests in Mass Effect are just containers. I don't know, maybe it's the glowing lights. Looks sci-fi enough, you know? This is a kitchen. Get used to it. There are a lot of those around here. Alright, now let's go see what the soldiers want, because I'm sure we can provide them with the rumble that they so choose. Yeah, chakra drops, the game just started. Well, they gave you a few just to tide you over until you get access to ingest mana. because you get access to ingest mana early in this game, and believe it or not, it basically lasts through. You could basically just use ingest mana for the whole game. It's what I did on the first playthrough, and I was fine, so. Chakra Walk and Mana Walk, we don't really need those anymore. Probably still get one of them at the very least for a specific section of the game, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. I'm just going to fill the map out real quick because, as we may have previously established in DDS1, and I established when we played this before this, Final Fantasy IV DS has scarred me for life, because in Final Fantasy IV DS, if you complete 100% of the map by filling out all sections of it, you get a little treasure each time. So now I have to fill out every map that I see that has like that sort of layout, even if they don't provide me with a reward, because Final Fantasy IV DS has scarred me for life, and if they're not filled out, my brain just kicks into OCD mode, so. Wonder how many calories the party averages in demon form? That's a good question. Probably quite a bit more than the normal human intake, considering the fact that they grow 3 feet and probably gain about 100 pounds each. I wouldn't be shocked if they needed a bit more calories to suffice. Oh, Society has save terminals in this area. Alright, cool. I forget if the game has told us whether or not we know exactly where we are yet, but we'll figure that out. Well, we kind of know what those doors mean, so at least from our time in the junkyard, so let's check them out. Karma terminals. Save terminals. Looks a little different than before. A little less Hindu-Buddhist inspiration, a little more sci-fi, but it's kind of this whole game, although they do lean heavily on the Hindu and Buddhist inspiration in this game, so. I think it's nice, though. It lets the story kind of take a specific direction. Sometimes the story and its themes get lost because they can't focus on a specific section of religion, but this one focuses on a specific one, and I don't know, I think it works for them, so. By the way, a couple of days ago, you're finally able to beat Sephiroth in KH1 FM without getting hit with Heartless Angel. Nice, Conker, nice. That's not an easy feat, so congrats on that. Hopefully, any little tips and tricks that I provided when I did the stream, hopefully they came in a little handy. If not, that's okay, but it's still an accomplishment in and of itself, no matter what the circumstances might be, so congrats on that. Let's see if we can download some mantras, shall we? I've been denied! I wonder why. Maybe my key card is no good anymore. Probably expired in the interim between the last game and this game. Maybe if I played this game a little earlier and actually got through it, we wouldn't have expired key cards. No, you just can't access mantra for right now, and to be fair, we're working on them, some of them, at the moment, so we might as well wait until we finish those. And by the time we finish those, we'll probably be in the next section of gameplay anyway, so. No big deal. Anyway, before we get started here, so here's our party. We have Surf, Argela, and Gale to start with. So Surf, and it appears as though we've lost a few abilities since the last time we played. We've even lost Devour. We don't even know how to eat things right now with most of our party. So Argela is basically the same as she was at the beginning of DDS1. Surf, same thing. And apparently Gale decided to be a little bit more of a physical attacker because he knows a couple physical attacks. They're not particularly useful, but I mean, they have their uses. It's not too bad. I am going to switch my party around just a little bit, though, here. We want to put Argela in the lead slot. It actually helps a little bit through this area, depending on things that have different weaknesses, and it lets you skip press turns, and yada, yada, yada. Important things that are strategic in the first area of the game where you don't really need to be that strategic. But we're on hard mode, so this game can and will kick my ass in a few cases. Might as well be prepared. Speaking of being prepared... I don't have a radio, sir. How am I going to tune? I'm confused. Yeah, you might wanna reconsider. I mean, you have guns at the moment, but when we turn into demons, those guns don't mean much. So, after de-rusting on how to play the game, you're able to beat them after 5 or so tries. Nice, Conker. That's good. Don't have to. We'll do it anyway because of habits. I mean, that's true. Yeah. We will, because of habits, so. Yeah, we might have a bit of an advantage on you guys, so. Well, you don't know who we are. But if you cross us, you'll find out. Well, looks like they're crossing us. Also, that might be what they meant by tuning. So I guess we'll tune as well. Let's do this, team. Feels weird not having heat here at the beginning of the game, but that's just because I'm used to the team at the beginning of DDS1. The gang's almost all here, but we get Gale to begin with, so it's probably not too bad. Alright, so this is the main reason why I want Argela in the front slot. She doesn't really have any attacking moves at the moment, so it's easier to pass your turn to somebody who can actually attack if you have her in the first slot. So that's my plan. And we definitely froze that guy, so I'm going to Mad Rush and get a quick crit. Very nice. Argela, why don't you get another crit while we're at it? Let's get rid of this guy. There we go. Surf, help me out. And then whack him. There we go. Cool. Try to get in the habit of finishing fights in one round. We don't get anything additional for doing that right now, but eventually the game will open up a little bit with a certain thing that we're not getting here on the results screen, and finishing the encounters in one round, it nets you more rewards. So just try to get used to it. Anytime you play a game again, you can't really play like a beginner again. Yeah, it's so hard to play like a beginner again when you've played it all the way through for the first time. I can feign ignorance just fine when it comes to story stuff, but when it comes to gameplay stuff, oh man, that's tricky. So, okay, so how do I want to do this? So the way that I decided to do this, what we did when we originally played the game was we kind of did like what we did in DDS1, where I had Surf work on strength and agility for the first little bit, and then we started working on vitality and magic later. In this particular iteration, because it's on hard mode, we're not going to do that. We're going to gouge his vitality and magic as much as possible in the early game, because that will give us a key advantage going forward. You mainly and those are going to be the only two things we need to level with him. We don't need to level strength at all. We don't need to level agility at all. We don't need to level luck at all. They're not worth it. Just gouge your two things that give you more HP and more MP, because we need them to live, okay? So that's the plan. Just gouge vitality and magic until the cows come home. And that's what we're going to do. Yes, ammo bullet. Yes. Yes, indeed. Same, but you'd forgotten how the hell you were able to use some strategies and how some mechanics work. Oh, yeah. I can... I mean, when I haven't played a game in a while, yeah, I get the same way. It takes a little while to, you know, get the rust and shake the rust off and figure that stuff out again, you know. So, yeah, we kind of also eat people. Hopefully that doesn't cause too many problems going forward. But we're the good guys, I swear. What do you mean you don't believe me? Okay, just want to make sure that I wasn't gonna have to move slightly to the left just to get the thing to actually work. We probably want to go that way, but well, they have a barricade in the way, so I guess we'll have to go around. There is a strong presence behind this door, but we can enter, it's fine. Not as strong as me. Get my ass beat immediately, have to go back. Uh-oh, they have code words. Oh boy. Well, if you're looking for resistance, we might be able to provide a bit of a better challenge for you. Yeah, maybe we should try to use the element of surprise, since they don't know who we are or where we're coming from. Never mind, no more surprises. Strong presence, it's the first door. Yeah, I know, but it's fine, we got this. It's stronger than the normal stuff, I guess. Stronger than those Andresses. Although that's not really much of a problem, because these Zens die to a single Bufu, so, yeah. Don't worry about it. Let's just whack them in the face and hope they don't dodge this last Bufu. Since this is hard mode, and we don't have Tsukakaja yet, sometimes even if enemies are weak to something, they will just completely dodge the move for no apparent reason when you're at +0. Again, just because it's hard mode, so fuck you. But... whatever, we'll work around it. Anyway, we've gained enough Atma from eating things to master Gale's mantra, so he knows Zan and Void Force now. Argel also got a level up, and she got some magic. That's the main thing that she wants, so that is good. Ma'am, we just ate the monsters. We're also monsters, but we're the good guys. Okay. Well, I mean, hopefully she doesn't run in any more soldiers. That wouldn't be good. Alright, fair enough. So yes, just head north, go around the barriers, fight the soldiers along the way, and eventually we'll find this Roland character that he's looking for. Hope that guy's not as much of a loser as Fred's making him sound like. Kinda suck to have to, you know, carry that guy around and, you know, he wouldn't be able to carry his own weight. Hey, a healing section. Although it looks like those hexagon things that were on the firewalls back in the junkyard are also down below there. Who knows why that's there? I'm going to blame solar noise. If there's anything in the game that I can't immediately explain, I'm just going to say it's because of the solar noise. It seems like a safe fallback option. Yeah, that sounds like Atlas difficulty. Yeah, pretty much. Gain enough atma from eating things, but you didn't eat anything. Turns around and leaves. We've eaten those Zens and those Andreses. We murdered and I was looking for an M word that would be like an equivalent to eating someone, but I can't think of anything. My thesaurus in my brain has failed me. I didn't set Zan for this fight. I keep talking and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That's okay though. I'll figure this out. Yeah, refer to us by our actual names, sirs. We're gonna think you're insulting us if you don't. Okay, so, since we don't have access to Zan, we can't actually hit these guys on their weakness hits at the moment, but that's okay. We can just Void Ice, and this battle will take a little longer than before, but no big deal. I'm gonna hit this guy, if possible, a little bit more, because he might be resistant to ice, but, I mean, he'll eventually die, so... Okay, they didn't use Bufu. This Bugaboo guy on the side here will use Bufu, occasionally, if you, what's it called? He'll use Bufu occasionally, and then if he actually does use that and we have the shield up, it'll actually eat his dress turn, which will help us quite a bit. I'm going to top Arjula off because she doesn't have the most HP, so she probably could have some problems if we don't keep her alive. So, there we go. See? And that actually frightens the enemy. Now, the frightened status, normally it will allow you to eat enemies easier because all of your devouring attacks do triple damage. We don't have any of those right now, but it also means that enemies can't dodge when we attack them, which is really nice because that means I can let loose with stuff like Mad Rush and not have to worry about anything, just, you know, not being able to, or dodging, really, so... You murdered them and turned them into morsels. Yes, yes we did. They became morsels in my stomach. I'm just gonna whack this guy. He's resistant to ice because he can use Bufu, so just whack him in the face. Do the best you can, and we'll be through this in a moment. After several Void Ices later. Again, don't worry about it if you don't finish in a single round for now, because, well, there's no additional reward for this first dungeon if you don't finish in a single round, but, it would probably help if you set the skills that you just learned, though. that would be useful, I think. Anyway, Gale has leveled up. He got the 3 stats that matter, so that's good. Yeah, they probably radioed it in, so... But if we keep moving, we'll be able to lose them. Maybe. Alright, let's set some skills for Gale, since he just got some. We'll set Zan, we'll set Void Force, and now he can actually hit things with, well, Zan, which would have helped in that battle, because both of those enemies, spoiler alert, were weak to wind. Duh. I think I made that mistake when I first played on the game blind, too. I don't think I set my skills that I had just learned. Like, I think I kept forgetting to do it, so hopefully this time I don't forget. I'm usually better about that sort of stuff, but then again, I'm usually not jabbering my mouth off when I'm playing either, so... Okay, so we've been ambushed. Means we have no time to transform and we start the whole fight in human mode. Now, human enemies, like these Karma soldiers, are actually weak to guns. So let's use Crossfire and blast them in the face. See if we can get a nice weakness hit. They'll do good damage and that'll let us either shoot them and kill them, or transform if they had more HP. But, well, he didn't, so I'll just kill him. No big deal. Now, human enemies that cannot transform into demons do not have access to Atma. We'll learn that a little later in the story, but that's why your Atma isn't going up when you just fight human enemies, so just in case you were wondering. Okay, so every even level, we're going to level Vitality and Magic. Every odd level, we're just going to crank Magic. Just get as much Magic as you can. It will help us out enormously over the course of the game. Because if we keep cranking magic in this first dungeon, we'll be able to one-shot most of the things that we fight, and it will only get more and more OP from there, especially since Surf is basically going to be our resident caster for the whole game. He's basically going to be a more buff Argela. So, yeah. Oh, treasure. I'll take it. I've been bamboozled. Okay, you got me. Let's see what you can do now. Alright, so we got a new enemy, a Huapo. Sitting in here with this guy as well. I should probably heal Gale, but I'll do that in a moment. Let me do this first, because Huapo's weak to ice. Just like in Nocturne, so if you remember your Nocturne, there you go. Let's get a Zan going for this guy, and he's almost dead. That's good. I'm going to top Argela off, I think. I mean, Gale could use it as well, but I'm just going to do this for safety. And then I think Gale will be alright. Let's just do this. Since he's frightened, he won't dodge it, and there you go. But yeah, take advantage of that when enemies are frightened, because it will help quite a bit with your accuracy in some cases, so... Alright, Argela leveled up, got more magic. Very good. She'll need more vitality, but we'll worry about that later. Speaking of needing more vitality, I should probably heal Gale, shouldn't I? So let's go do that. Some revival beads, that's nice. Those chakra drops will come in handy eventually, because Argela using Dia on everybody will eventually take a toll on her MP. Now, we might not be near a healing terminal after we get a certain distance here, but I mean, it's the first dungeon. It's not too bad in terms of where it puts healing terminals and save terminals and stuff. Speaking of which, here's one right here. A small terminal. So let's check that out. You can also teleport, just like in the first game. You can teleport from any small terminal to any of the large terminals that you've found. You cannot teleport back to the small terminals, but if you ever need to leave an area in a hurry for some reason, you can do that. Or just teleport because you can take it as a shortcut in some cases, so we'll be doing that, but just not yet, that's all. Now, when you aren't transformed, or when you are transformed against these human soldiers, it's pretty much not, there isn't really much to them. Just whack them with a spell, and then try to hit them with, like, physical skill, basically. You won't kill all of them in a single round this way, especially if one of them dodges, but yeah. It's pretty much just have Surf be the battering ram and smack things in the face with spells, and that'll do us enough good to take them out, eventually. If Gale doesn't keep missing. Yeah, we'll play a little dangerous for now. These guys didn't ration, so hopefully that means that... Okay, so now we can do that. I can at least get a crit on this guy. Maybe get a little prior damage on that guy. We can heal up Gale. And then let's just see if we can whack this guy, get him close. It's surprising because human enemies are actually some of the tankiest enemies in the game when you're transformed, because they're not weak to anything in particular. They're just weak to guns, which means that they're actually a little trickier to kill in a lot of cases than other enemies of the same kind in the areas. It's not that they're going to kill you, it's just that they don't allow you to kill them in one hit. In most cases. Eventually we will solve that problem, but, well, not just yet. Gale got a level up. He got some magic. That's good. It's a good thing we came out of the simulation with our firearms intact. Yeah, and at least a couple of our skills intact, too. Would have sucked if we came out of the simulation and, like, couldn't transform or something. That would be no good. So, Argela, why don't you top a few people off here? Because you topped off Gale, but I think everybody else could use it. I'm going to save again just because of the fact that it's right here. And I might as well. Yeah, come out without Dia, suffer. Use those rations. Maniac mode, yeah. Oh, if only. I'm one of those people where, like, they talked about a new difficulty when the Nocturne remake came out, and I was like, ooh, are they adding Merciless mode to Nocturne? And then it was Merciful, and I'm like, aw. Oh, well. What can you do, right? Now, thankfully, nobody in our team, or actually, no, that's not true. Argela is actually weak to Force, but thankfully those guys didn't hit us with it, so that should help a little bit. Let's see, can I kill this guy before needing to Void Force? It kind of depends on what happens in this particular turn, if Gale misses or not. Really don't need Argela to do much, but I guess I can analyze them while we have it, you know. I don't want to just have her attack because I need Surf to kill this guy, so. But there you go. These guys are weak to guns and ice, and all they do is Zan and attack, so. It's okay, you were in that boat too, yeah. It seemed like the kind of thing that they would do, but it didn't end up being that way, unfortunately, so. Okay, this is an even level, so we'll give Surf 2 Vitality and 1 Magic. And that'll probably be about how we do this. It'll usually be about 2 Vitality, 1 Magic. We eventually, my target is I want to have him by, I think like the end of the 5th dungeon, if I recall correctly, is about the time we'll get to like level 30-ish. Maybe a little over that. But I want to get him as close to 50 Vitality and 69 Magic as I can by that point. And we should have about enough points to get close, so. And that'll be basically the reason why I planned for that is because that's a little bit after where we ended off the streams previously before when I took my break, so. Do the P5 strat, match your Vitality by the time you get halfway through the game, become as gods. And that would be good if Surf was a physical attacker, because then you could abuse the hell out of the fact that some physical attacks take account of your Vitality in their damage calculation. So you could feasibly do that. It's just that it's not the build that I'm using for Surf in this particular case. We gotta wait till Nocturne before we're gonna do a physical build. Although, my build in Nocturne will be a little bit mixed, because it'll be physical and magical, depending on what point in the game we're in. Magic is better in the first half of Nocturne, and then it gets better. Physical gets better after that, so. One guy, that's it. That is true, but I don't know if they could leave us alone, because then they would get killed by their higher-ups, their Argela, so. Either die here or they die later. Potentially in front of their families, so maybe it's better that we just mercifully kill this guy now. Just a thought. Alright, so let's do that, and we'll just whack this guy upside the head, and then boofoo him again, and off he'll go, hopefully. He's got a little bit of HP, doesn't he? No, not really. Oh, hello there. Okay, well, he's got a bit of a second form. He can actually transform into a demon, which will make this a little harder. Not too much harder, but a little harder. I guess I'll Zan. I don't think we can kill this guy in one turn unless Surf can do it right now. Maybe. Nah, close, but not quite. Maybe if I just pumped magic for the first couple levels, we would be able to, but I did not. And also, if I had pumped magic for the first couple levels, I probably would have died from that Venom Claw, so... You win some, you lose some, no big deal. If we had access to Terra at this point, which Argela gets once she finishes Earth Spirit, we would be able to hit that guy in his weakness hit, because I could just Terra him, but, well, we don't have access to that just yet, so, you know. Yeah, Nocturne's vocal tracks, indeed, are something else. Oh, man. Did I ever explain where how they made those? Because it's kind of a funny story. They took, like, an old Macintosh text-to-speech program, and they used the text-to-speech program. One of the text-to-speeches sounds like a dude with, like, a real big rasp in his voice, and they used that and then put some reverb over top of it, and that's it. Sorry, that was loud. Didn't intend for that to be that loud, but that's it. That's how they made the lyrics. That's how they had the vocals made, is they used the Macintosh text-to-speech program. Argela got Vitality. Good. She also completely healed. Also good. Cool. We're all ahead full here. Yeah, we kind of lost a few abilities in the interim, haven't we? Now, I mean, there's a few things you've comprehended, but apparently that's still a bit of a work in progress, isn't it, Gale? That is true. We didn't forget who we were or where we were from, so... Ideally, the Atma and the abilities will come back as we go. No big deal. Do I want to go back and save? Nah, not really. We'll be fine. Yeah, put some reverb on top, a loud reverb from the clap, yeah. If I had a soundboard, Cole would probably tell me, yes, you have to do that, but I don't have a soundboard, so... No dice this time, but it's okay. Actually, I think by the time I finish this dungeon... Man, that guy's booking it. We're usually, what, like level 7 by the end of this dungeon? I might be leveling magic exclusively for the next few... Well, maybe I'll put a little on Vitality next level. I want to get to, like, 15 magic before we leave, so that would put me at 13 at 6. And then... I mean, 14 is fine. We'll be at 14 at level 7 if I keep leveling the way that I did before, so. Well, he went that away, so let's go see what he was doing this away before we go see him that away. Oh, looks like somebody's house. What they got over here? Well, that's not too far off. It's one of those old school televisions, so. Anything on the shelves? No, not really. Another kitchen. Might as well inspect it, why not? But if you look on the shelves here, we can grab some items. 2 rations. Nice. So yeah, check the shelves. There's items on some of them, so. Also a dusty book on this one, so let's take a look at it. Timmy's Journal, April 5th. I went outside tonight to see my mom and dad again. It looks like when they turned to stone, my dad was trying to protect my mom. His head was shattered, but I can still tell that it's him. I'm going to find the pieces of his head and put him back together. This kid is going to be messed up for the rest of his life. Like, imagine being, like, 8 years old and having to say something like that about your father. Like, good fucking lord, man. Yeah, those TVs are relics, that's for sure. They've been gone for a while. When this game came out, they were still around, but, I mean, they were starting to get replaced, just barely, by the time this game came out, so. Oh, that's gonna get him a press turn. Well, it's a good thing they didn't hit Argela again. I should probably heal. Hold the phone before I heal. Let's see if we can thin the ranks a little bit. There we go. Yeah, just do this, and then if it misses, I'll just Dia right here, because that way Argela can live. For a little longer, anyway. Pretty sure most of these kids would be messed up considering the environment they have to live. I mean, that's fair, yeah. It's not exactly, you know, sunshine and rainbows here, so... These kids are messed up anyway. Alright, Gale leveled up again. Got strength and vitality, that'll work. Gale spat something out. So this is, I don't think they had these in DDS 1, if I recall correctly, but occasionally when a character levels up, they will find items, and apparently Gale collected them in his head, so we got a medical kit from him. The items that you get are dependent on your character's level, so the higher their level goes, the better items you'll get. So, alright, let's top ourselves off, and then we'll just continue. See what that other soldier was up to over here. We didn't get any new abilities yet, right? I think we're not quite done with... Yeah, we're not quite done with Earth Spirit or Devourer, for that matter, so... We are wasting precious AP by not being able to equip a new mantra on Gale, but we'll worry about that later. The AP here isn't that good, so... You okay? Figured that guy wouldn't have tried to drag you away. Surprise, motherfucker! He set a trap for us. Unfortunately for him, we will probably be able to murder him with very little trouble. Especially if they don't take advantage of the fact that Gale was frozen. That does in fact help. Alright, Conquer, see ya in a bit. I think I'll Void Ice, just because we'll probably have at least one of them left over after we're done with this. Then we'll Zan, and we'll move from there. I'm going to heal Argela, actually, because the physical attacks will kill her, but probably not anybody else, so... Get rid of one. When we eventually gain access to Mazan, it'll be a lot easier to do that, but we don't have access to that just yet, so we'll just make do without it for now. Let's see, we'll pass turn. Get some Zan going since he can't dodge. Whack him upside the head! There you go. Use those whip arms, Argela. Smack them in the face. You alright? Hopefully they didn't, Yeah, we don't like hurting people that don't have Atma in their systems. We only hurt the people that have Atma in their systems because we have to, otherwise we go crazy, and then we start actually killing people who don't have Atma in their systems, and we don't like doing that, so... Okay, good. Well, then you do that. If you need a hand, I guess... I don't know, I would say call us, but we'll kind of be out of here by the time that happens, so... I wonder if you can, like, come back through here and all of the citizens that are here are just out of here by... Like, if you come back here later. There is a point in time in the game where we will come back here later, eventually, but I don't know if I'll remember to check that when we come back here later. Because that's, like, 10 episodes from now, so... Okay, so just take care of these guys. Eventually we'll be doing like almost 50 damage with those magical skills that Surf uses, so that will do us a significant amount of good when it comes to fighting and killing these soldiers quickly. We won't be able to AoE them down just yet, but we'll worry about that later. Just going to do that so I don't have to do it after the battle, and there we go. Easy as that. And we're almost done with Earth Spirit. I would like to get it pretty soon, but we don't have to get it, so... it's not like a huge priority, but I would like to get it eventually here. Oh, good. Someone's drinking around here. Can't say I blame them, considering the circumstances. Let's see what's in here. Some more chakra drops. That's good, because I'm probably going to be using a couple of them pretty soon. Oop. Get around that fence there, Surf. Won't get anywhere with you running your face into it. I forget where exactly it is that I'd specifically like to have Earth Spirit done, but I'll worry about that later. For now, we gotta deal with these guys. Gals? I don't know. Doesn't particularly matter. So these are Alps? Yes, that's what they are called. And, okay, apparently I can't use any, Oh, with Argela I can't because she doesn't have a Void skill set. Okay, that's why. But basically there are combo actions that you can use if you have certain actions set. If you have a Void skill and an Elemental skill set with Surf, you can access Ice Shot, which allows you to pew-pew these things into oblivion. And I don't think they're weak to guns, if I recall correctly, so let's just see how much Ice Shot does, shall we? They're gonna revert me anyway, I might as well do some damage while I'm at it, so here we go. They can also confuse you, which is just not cool, but Argela does have Patra if that's something that's problematic for you, so just, you know, don't worry about that. I don't have enough press turns to Ice Shot plus attack and analyze at the same time, so I'm not really too concerned about this, this here Alp's strengths and weaknesses. We can kill it in one round anyway, so no big deal. Almost done with Earth Spirit. Probably one more battle with enemies that are, what's it called? That have Atma, and we'll be there. Okay, so we did... Last level we did this, if I recall correctly. Let's see, at 2 we did that, so at 4 we did that, so this is level 5, so we're doing this. Okay. And, hang on, there we go. Got a little section there that I gotta take care of. Yeah, Surf has in fact seen the sun, as we saw in the intro, so I guess we're gonna go see it again. Ah, okay, gotcha. And yeah, anybody who, basically any of the kids, if they go outside, they get QVA syndrome, which, yeah, turns you to stone. And it's not a very fun time, so... hopefully your dad's alright, but, I mean, if they turn to stone, the stone status in SMT games is really bad because any old thing that hits you can just shatter you eventually, so I don't think I want to tell that kid that. That would make sense. Sorry, I can't really help it, Fred. Just sort of happened. Yeah, so we all dispersed in different directions, basically, when the simulation broke and the junkyard disappeared. As it turns out, Surf was on the surface. Gale, I think, also appeared on the surface, because Argela, I think, just mentioned that we both were up on the surface, but she appeared down here in the occupied city. So, but now we can go see the surface, so we can see the extent of the damage while we're at it. So, let's go check it out, shall we? I mean, we've, like I said, Surf has already seen this, but we might as well go see how bad it all is. Yeah, that's not really good. Especially with all of this stuff out here. Not really good doesn't even really begin to describe it. Yeah, I wouldn't advise looking at it, Argela. You don't have sunglasses. Pretty much. Yeah, I'll say. All things considered, this place sucks. This ain't no Nirvana. That's not good. Body's falling apart. What about this guy? Head is missing. Fantastic. Maybe that's Timmy's dad? Although he doesn't look like he's protecting anything. Oh boy. Yep, by the looks of it. Yeah, so Gale kind of, he's hitting it right on the nose there, basically. If you have access to Atma, you don't get turned to stone when you go under the sun. Why it happens, we don't know yet, but we'll figure it out later, I'm sure. Yeah, I would imagine this whole process is pretty painful. Let's see, we already got the right side, so let's just go over to the left side here and kind of even it all out. There we go. Well, one of these people might be Timmy's dad. Kind of sucks, though, because, you know, I mean, the whole turning to stone thing isn't bad enough. Your son is out there all alone in the world now. That's no good. It's already hard enough for a kid to be strong in the real world. You make him have to be strong in the post-apocalypse. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's not going to work out for anybody. Any second thoughts now that you've seen the sun there, Argela? Yeah, so this actually tracks, because if you remember from the prologue, or from the intro cutscene, the gentleman that was talking to the chibi versions of the cast there was mentioning that everything is composed of data. So if solar noise affects things here in the real world, it makes sense that it would affect things in a computer simulation as well, because, well, it's all data, so. I don't know exactly what it all means, but it would track that it all affected us even if we were in there, if we're all just data, so. Welcome back, Conquer. Not a whole lot. We just went up to the surface to see the sun just a minute ago, and it just showed us how shit the apocalypse is, basically. But this is about where we are now. We moved up a couple of areas. We beat a couple of little forced battles, and now we're up here. But I haven't missed so much, so we haven't learned any new mantras since you left, so. Uh-oh, a message. We are hiding nearby. Specifically in human form, are you sure about that, sir? Because we could shoot you with our guns. Oh, okay, well that's not good. Why is the sun casting an AoE stone gaze? I wish I got AoE stone gaze, speaking of which. That'd be a lot of fun to play around with. Well, let's go see if we can help them then, Fred. Because, yeah, I mean, can't really abide by them. And really, aren't they just cutting off their own nose to spite their face at this point if they kill the captives? Because don't they need the captives to, I don't know, eat and live? That seems a little absurd. Do I want to do Crossfire again? Let's do Twin Shot this time, because why the hell not? I want to do it with Argela, and well, I probably should do it with Gale at the very least, because he's got more strength. You're hitting only a single target with these anyway, so even if Gale has an assault rifle, which normally doesn't hit a single target, you get the most bang for your buck out of that, so. Didn't really do a whole lot of damage, but I guess it'll let us transform so we don't get lambasted by these people when they, what's it called? Can I might be able to do this. Yeah, let's get that off. So Wind Shot and Earth Shot are also available for Argela and for Gale there. So you get an elemental shot with each person because somebody in your party has a Void skill equipped. So that'll help us out a little bit. Oh, actually, Gale's not going to be transformed, but I think we'll be able to kill this guy with Bufu. Maybe? Close. That's okay. It'll force him to ration, which means one less press turn where he can shoot Gale in the face. Because when we're in human form, yeah, guns kind of hurt us a little bit, so gotta be a little careful of that. I guess I'll just do this, and then transform. We do have a couple of Molotovs in my inventory that I could toss at these guys if they start to be a real annoyance here, but it's probably fine. I might do it now with Argela just to let things move along a little bit. Oh, I only have one. Well, that's fine. Not like I'm using it on anything else, so. Let's do that and do this. And then, yeah, just Zan in. Okay, fine. Be that way. This is what I was talking about, though, where sometimes hard mode just decides to be hard mode, and it will dodge things for no reason, and also get criticals over and over again for no reason, so don't worry about it, just take it in stride. Eventually the battle will be over, and they'll stop murdering you. I'm just gonna top most of us off real quick. I thought the camera was zooming back out again to get more crits. What did these guys do? Equip a more critical, a gun that gets them more critical hits? That wouldn't be good. They didn't even give me any Atma for all that trouble, but I did get my Molotov back, so that's not bad. Alright, Ursula got Vitality and Magic. Good. Okay, good find then. What do you got? Chakra Drop. Cool. That'll come in handy. That's the wrong person to be casting, Dia. There we go. I might go back to the healing point after we go in here. Although, can't really do that with the, you know, with the captives being in trouble, but yeah, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Arjula has a rifle. Why doesn't she just steal their weapons and ammo? I mean, we probably do, frankly. Like, I mean, how else would we get basically unlimited ammo for our guns, you know? So I imagine we do steal their ammo. So, oh, nice crit, Gale. That'll help out a little bit. Let's get rid of this guy. There we go. I think this guy got hit twice, so I'm going to hit him with Bufu and see if he dies. Eh, not quite. Almost. But yeah, I would imagine we grab some of their ammo, too, when they die, so... Because otherwise, how would we keep shooting things, you know? I mean, we don't use that many bullets, I suppose, but... And, just do this. Get rid of this guy. And we'll go from there. Yeah, those hit-all skills, when we eventually get them, will come in quite handy for situations like this, where we have a bunch of enemies with no particular elemental weakness that we need to deal with, and they keep dodging my physical attacks. Don't worry about it. They haven't killed me yet. Yeah, I really do want to run into some actual, like, enemies with Atma, basically, because if we don't, well, we're basically just going to be sitting on Earth Spirit being almost done for quite a while if we don't, so... Oh, there's something on this shelf, too. Let's take it. A medical kit. Nice. So yeah, check all the shelves and everything around here, because some of them might have something interesting on them. They don't keep this trend up later in the game, though. Eventually, there won't be as many things for you to check out. There will be inspect points throughout the dungeons as we go here, but not all of them. There won't be as many that will actually give you something, basically. So, do I want to transform? Not really. I think I'll just do this. This will work out okay. Especially if that happens. And then, yeah, that would take all my press turns, so I guess I'll just transform. And then, let's just Bufu again. Surf's SP, MP, I forget if it's SP or MP in this game, but it's getting a little low based on the fact that it's yellow, but he has a lot of it. Like, he's at about 60 or 70 at the moment, so that's why it's showing up like that. Okay, one more battle, and then Arjula should be able to get Earth Spirit. And Gale got the 3 stats that matter, so that's good. A reiteration from DDS1, this game uses Nocturne's stat formula. So the main 3 stats that you want to worry about are Strength, Vitality, and Magic. They will get you the most bang for your buck. Agility and Luck have some uses in the formulas, but they're heavily truncated in such a way that investing in them usually isn't as worth it as just investing in the other 3. So, another dusty book. Let's read it, shall we? July 15th. I knew the Lokpala couldn't hold them back forever. The demons have broken through. The city's on fire, and I can hear people screaming as the demons drag them away to God knows where. I have to make sure my daughter survives. They're outside my house right now. I can't give in to the fear. I can't run. All I have is a revolver and 3 bullets. I pushed her out the back door and told her to run. I hope she can make it to the next district. This is it. They're tearing at the door. I can smell them. That's gross. Catherine, live on for me. Hope she got out all right. Maybe we'll see her eventually. Well, in any case, the guy left behind a shot shell, which is an upgrade for our guns. I am going to give the shot shell, if you check the ammo section of your items, you can actually give it to somebody. I'm going to give it to Gale, actually. I think last time I gave it to Arjula, but I'm going to give it to Gale this time because he actually gets a little more use out of it in the places where it actually matters. And by that I mean boss fights, because shooting things in this game in human form during boss fights, actually a lot better than DDS1, at least for the first little bit. Excuse me.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Oh boy, Cole's here. Hi, Cole. Why'd you bring all this stuff down?
Do you have any idea how expensive my cards are? They go everywhere with me.
I guess so. Anyway, another message for us. And that seems like the same message as before. I don't believe you. I don't know that you have captives at all. Let's go find out, shall we? DDS1 invalidated the guns before they ever did anything with them. Yeah, and thankfully I'm pleased to report that, at least for the first half of the game, DDS2 makes guns a little more useful.
Just a little bit.
We will see as we go along that they get a bit more use in this one. Because of the fact that ammo sometimes is more powerful than the spells that you actually have access to, and ammo determines the damage output of those sorts of skills, so. Marie's in Eorzea again. Cole hasn't been to Eorzea in a while. Did you lose your subscription, or do you still have it?
I still have it, I just don't play anymore. I beat the raid tier, that's all I wanted.
Uh-oh. I see the person leaving a message.
Is the question.
I don't know. Get ready to level up Sage.
I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about something else.
This is Germany.
Ow.
Stop that.
No.
You have a plate in your neck. Stop that.
No. Jimmy was supposed to suffocate me.
Okay, so there are many doors to get to this captive. The real question is, which one do we take? So we could either take the door that's directly to my right and get to the captive immediately, but he would, of course, probably kill the captive like that. Or we could take the way around, and maybe we can get the drop on him. So I think I'm going to try to do that. Sure, I'll Mad Rush. Trying to. Well, at least it forced them to Dia. And also Dia. Well, I guess that just resets the battle. No big deal. Do Mentor Roulette. Get the two-person mount from 3K Mentor Roulettes. Cole, please no. Listen, I'll just answer that for Cole. Please no.
Listen, I already have the freaking Rathalos mount. Do I need anything else?
I mean, if you like the Rathalos, no.
Like.
Okay, one more battle and then Argela will get Earth Spirit. I keep saying that, but.
I've spent like 50 runs just busting my ass to get that mount, and I made a promise to myself: never again. I will never go that hard for a mount again. It was the worst experience of my life.
And that wasn't even 2,000. That was 50 of them. Anyway, yeah, we could go directly to where the captives are by going through that door to the right, but let's see if we can get the jump on him. And also, I want to get Terra before we fight that guy, because he's kind of weak to it, so see what we can do while we're out here.
Earth Magic go burp.
Yeah, that. I mean, I could always transform Argela and get Earth Shot that way, but I would rather try not to do that if I could. Oh, good, now we can get Crossfire going. See if this actually kills this time. Yes, it did. Very good, very good. Do it again.
I think the Regalia is coming back. It is.
I don't know, maybe. About to become a parking lot again. Oh boy.
I can't believe Garlemald's plan all along was turning Eorzea into a glorified parking lot.
Oh boy. Okay, Surf leveled up again, so even level, so let's get 2 Vitality, 1 Magic, and actually, yeah, when we get to level 7, we'll have 16 Magic, so that'll put us in really good shape. And we still have 9 Vitality, but that's okay. It'll be okay for us. I'm going to explore over here and then turn around, and hopefully we'll get into an encounter before we get to this door. Of course, not now the encounter rate takes it easy on me. We got to get Terra before we go through the door, so I'm going to try to get that while I'm here. That is a lot of Zen. Unfortunately, they won't be dropping a lot of Zenny for me. I'm going to Void Force just because I don't want Argela to get whacked upside the head, because I think at least 1 Zen will survive here. So, this Gale's really been lifting weights here. I mean, if I Body Rush, maybe. Okay, cool. Did it in 1. Confirmed for September, the rerun of the 15 crossover, meaning it's time to get the fucking car. Yeah, if you haven't gotten it before, now's a good time. I got it already, so I was good. It wasn't really that hard to get before either. It was like 200,000 MGP, which is like, that's like 4 weeks of Fashion Report, so.
4 weeks of Fashion Report. Y'all know what that means. It means Lawfeld's about to get his car.
It's really not that hard. Argela mastered Earth Spirit, and we got Terra and Void Earth. Perfect. You have that much on you? Yeah, I think I have like 500,000 MGP or something like that on me, on my character. I don't... There's nothing to do with it, really, at this point. Like, I got nothing for it, especially, like, I don't need to buy any other cards. My deck is pretty good as it is, so I don't know. I got nothing.
Triad.
Triple Triad is fun, though. Oh, I like it.
This is the only deck I need.
Yeah, I mean, that's
fair.
fair.
I have 6 other ones.
That's fair. 200k feels like a ton since you never got the Fenrir or the chair. Yeah, I mean, both of those would cost you a pretty penny, so...
My favorite mount in the game now is the bed.
That's just
Have you
because
seen
it's
that?
just a bed and you just lay on it as you're flying.
It's amazing.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, we got Terra. I remembered to set it this time. So let's go and see what the Strong Presence is all about, and then after that, maybe we'll go back and save and go from there. Can we get the drop on this man? No, he knew we were coming. He saw me walk out the other door. That's no good. Well, we try. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it doesn't matter which door you go through. This guy dies anyway. He just gets whacked against the wall and breaks his
Imagine
neck and
dying,
shit.
getting thrown into a fucking wall.
Oh, you can try, sir, but I know your weaknesses now. I played DDS1. Okay, he didn't use Raving Slash out the gate. That's good. We also have access to Mabufu and Micronova now that Argela has Terra, so that's also good. Let's whack him upside the head. Oh, he's not weak to that. I thought he was. Maybe it's Zan, then, because it isn't Bufu. Okay, there we go. I guess I got Terra for nothing, although Terra will come in handy against certain enemies around here, so no big deal. I am learning from my mistakes. I'm getting smarter. My brain is working. 2 magic for Argela. More power for Dia and Terra. Awesome. Sir, are you okay? No, you are definitely not okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, that Jontron thing. Skit from him being dead. I'm gonna go save, since the door's right here. Might as well. And then we'll continue.
Even before more magic on a level.
As boy, that would be nice. Just get +3 magic from a single level. I mean, I do that with Surf already, but like naturally occurring, not like me using stats to do that, you know. So that would be good. But Argela's magic gets absurd by the end game. If she had more vitality, she would just hands down be the best party member in the game, because she would have the 2 stats that are the most important in this game if she did. Oh good, Gale is Slip. And Void Ice. I mean, that's not going to save Mr. Horseman over there, but whatever, it's fine. I'll just pass my turn around. And we'll just do this. And then I guess we'll whack you upside the head. There we go. So you're going to do Earth. So I guess I can't do much to you right now, so just whack you upside the head again. Okay, so Void Ice is fine. Just do this, whack you upside the head, and off you go. That's the Sleepy Time spell. Oh, yeah. Well, thankfully, it didn't really make too much of a difference for us. Can't wait for Monster Hunter Rise and the Nocturne remake. Yeah, both, from what I understand, both are very solid. Although I've been waiting for the Nocturne remake to get its patch for the high-quality music, and it's been a month since the game came out, and it hasn't moved in any capacity since the first day that the game came out in English. I'm like, what the hell? I understand it's a mod and it's, you know, they're working for free, but can you work on that a little faster, please? I think I might be asking for a lot, though.
You just want the Nocturne remake's music to be better because it's like one of your few problems.
That's true. The compressed audio is a big problem for me.
That and the modding thing you've been trying to do.
So, yeah.
On a side note.
What?
That's Portuguese.
You got a Portuguese holographic wall? Okay. Okay.
Listen. I have
Okay,
enough
then.
foreign cards in this deck to, like... I need translations for basically the whole deck.
Oh, my lord. Better
I
start
am a lunatic.
Better
for
start
foreign
speaking
cards.
more languages, bro. Better start working on that Duolingo.
Let's see. In my base build, I have
left
Portuguese,
or right?
I
I
have
think if I
German,
go
I
to
have
the
French,
right.
I have Italian. All in one deck.
This is Mr. Worldwide over here.
Alright.
More alcohol bottles? Anything on here? No. Not really. There's a healing terminal over there. Anything over here? No, but someone's been here recently. Because, yeah, the dust hasn't had time to settle on the shelves. Nothing over there. More Alps.
What?
Revert. Please no. I mean, it doesn't matter if you do, but Especially for Argela, because like she's just gonna shoot you anyway. I'm just gonna pass her turn by and have Surf do this. So. And then Mad Rush. There we go. And then pass, and then Bufu again. And off they'll go in one turn. Get paid Friday, you're gonna get Legend of Dragoon on your PS3, PSN. Nice. That should be fun. I never got to play much of the Legend of Dragoon. A friend of mine that lived on the street where we live actually had it when I was younger, but I mostly watched them play it rather than played it myself, so. Gale got Strength and Magic, that's good. He also got Magic. Nice. That'll help Gale. The way that I'm going to be building everybody, I don't need to really explain it too much yet because we don't have access to mantras yet, but Gale's going to be one of our 2 physical attackers for the team, so.
Because Gale's pretty good at that.
Because Gale's best stat throughout the whole game ends up actually being his strength. He never gets anything to be higher than that. That being said, physical attacks aren't too useful in this game. They have some use, but more often than not, this game is kind of very similar in that regard to Final Fantasy Legend 2, which I think is kind of funny considering we just played it, in that magic and having access to Tsukakaja is the way to go. And in Legend 2, magic and agility were the way to go. Strength really didn't get that good until the very end game when you gained access to weapons that could just do set damage and then did more based on how much you, based on how much strength you had. So, also, hello Tarask. The Tarask is back.
Wait, y'all ain't level 20 yet?
No, we're not, but that's okay.
Forward catch.
I also forgot to set Devour, but that's okay. No big deal. We don't need it to kill this guy, thankfully. We can just barely, and I mean barely, kill him with that exact set of skills.
I just realized something. Dad's not home, the TV's on upstairs. Let me go fix it.
Ah, okay.
Then grab a blanket while I'm at it because I am no blood.
Okay, go for it. Alright, let's set Devour so that I can pretend like I'm getting smarter again. There we go. Yeah, leave it down there, that's fine. We'll eventually want to get Devour for everybody, but, well, we don't have access to that just yet. Yeah, Heat, where are you hothead? Your physical attacks would really help right about now, but we're not worried about that. We'll figure it out later. Uh-oh. The hounds are still on the hunt. By the time backup gets here, it'll be too late for you, sir. Okay, so this is sort of a test of how well do you know your skills. I know my skills pretty well, so we're going to do this and Terra this guy because the Andrus is actually weak to it, so we're going to do that. I could Devour right now, but we don't need to do that in order to learn any skills just yet. Devouring, just like in DDS1, gets you a bunch of AP, more than you would get normally, so. But we don't need to do that just yet, so. It will be good to keep Devour, though, just in case this guy actually becomes frightened, and then we can deal more damage to him, so. But we'll worry about that after. Let's just do this. He has, like, I think 150 HP, I want to say. So it's awfully close with these skills when we do this, but yeah, you can still end the battle in one round, even with a Tarask, so. And there you go. Easy as that. If you don't end the battle in one round with the Tarask, though, he is mean. He can use Mad Rush, which itself doesn't do a huge chunk of damage, but he has a lot of strength, and if he gets crits off of it, he can basically wipe your entire party in a single round. So, good luck with that.
I have returned.
Sounds like the Tarask. Welcome back.
Oh yeah, just like the Tarask in D&D.
You just kill your whole party in one hit.
I still vividly recall one of the funniest D&D stories I've ever heard.
Right.
They just teleported the Tarask above a mountain and let it land itself in the pit.
That's pretty good.
Because the Tarask is basically immortal. You can't kill it, but if it's stuck on something it can't pull itself off of, it's gonna sit there and just like keep regenerating.
Right.
But it can't get out.
So it's a fate worse than death.
And people say it's impossible to kill a Tarask.
I mean, you don't kill it, but it'll wish it was dead.
The best part about that is that normally the Tarask's skin, like, basically counterspells all magic. Like, if you use a teleport spell on it, it'll disperse. If you use any kind of magic. So the only way to use a teleport spell on a Tarask is to get eaten by it.
Oh, Jesus. Had to pull themselves out from the inside while it was getting impaled by a mountain.
It's hard to digest something when you're falling at Mach 1 towards a sharp mountain.
I mean, that's fair. Bulma, how high do I have to drop you from before you reach terminal velocity? Why are you fighting the Terras? Just call it a Fate Grand Order St. Martha. I don't know enough about Fate to tell you what that means, but maybe I should give them a call. Maybe I'll be able to ask the Resistance members for a cell phone when we're done with this. Hopefully the cell towers and everything still work.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would imagine they don't, because most of them use walkie-talkies. Spoiler alert, there aren't too many cell phones left in the post-apocalypse. I feel like that's much of a spoiler. But, yeah.
I mean, cell towers aren't built to last through, like, a meteorite impact.
Yeah. I mean, the satellites might still be up there, but that doesn't mean that the service center that's attached to that satellite is going to be intact. Oh, good, a nice mix. That'll be fun. Let's see what we can do, shall we? So let's Bufu this guy first. Get rid of him. Then we'll Zan you. Get a bunch of press turns together. Very nice. And then I don't need to heal anybody, so just whack this guy upside the head, soften him up, then Bufu him to death, and off we'll go. Or he'll dodge it because hard mode. Fuck you. But then I'll just do this and it'll be over anyway. There you go. But yeah, on a weakness hit now, we're doing like 50-something damage with Bufu. Very nice. Very nice. It will work out quite nicely for us. And Surf is level 7, so let's get him above 10 Vitality. Get us 11 and 14. So we're in pretty good shape in terms of our Vitality and Magic. But, I mean, that's all we're going to be leveling with Surf this time. So, you know, should be alright. We're going to go this way first. There's 2 doors, but this way leads to a side path. So the other way leads to the exit. We're going to check around here and see what we can find. Another kitchen. That's a good find, I suppose. It's too bad there's no, like, pot of stew left over here, although what would they be making stew out of? Other people? So maybe not so good if we had any stew. Let's see. From there, maybe something up on those shelves, and then there's a treasure chest. Nice dodge, Gale. Hopefully those will be a common occurrence eventually once we gain access to Sukakaja.
I still find it incredible.
Because he's up on 1 foot, so like he can... Yeah, he can jump backwards and then slide back in. Oh, nothing up there. What's in here? We have a medical kit. Nice. That'll come in handy. Those heal for 150 for everybody, by the way, so... And also, probably that door right there, if we could go through it, we could probably finish the dungeon right away. But unfortunately, I'm being blocked by chest-high walls. What is this, the world ends with you?
Yeet.
Oh, anyway, no diaries to be read there. Alright, so let's go through here, and we'll see where we can go from there. I think we got all the treasure. Not 100% sure, but probably most of it. Do that to quickly activate and then deactivate Surf's attack. We probably won't get around to Gale's turn again, so I guess we'll just do this to get rid of this guy. And then Arjula will just whack this guy upside the head, and then we will get around to Gale's turn because I can just pass it along and go like that. Easy, easy. Once you play these games enough, you get really good at the press turn system. It becomes like almost like a stylish sort of thing when you start to figure out, okay, so I can pass here and do this here and do this and that here. It almost becomes like a bit of a dance, basically, that you're playing around with the press turn system to see where you can get your skills to work most effectively. So, I don't know, I like watching it, and I like playing it, so... Oh good, they can mock Akaja. And actually, this leads me to an interesting thought that we'll be thinking about as we go through the game. I think, if this game is anything like the way that it is with Nocturne, the chance of you getting a first strike in battle is dependent on the agility of the party leader. So whoever's the leftmost person in the party, their agility determines whether the enemy attacks first or you do. So that will be interesting, because I will be structuring the party in such a way that we try to have the highest agility characters on the left at all times. So. And unfortunately, Surf is not going to be one of them. So, but we'll make do even if he doesn't have any agility. Not a big deal. I'm just gonna do this. There we go. I was gonna try to kick him with Gale, but I don't know. Didn't feel like missing. Magic seems to have a little bit higher base accuracy than physical attacks, at least from my experience. Might be anecdotal, but you know. Alright, what do we got in here? Big ol' empty room, by the looks of it. But, not so fast. There's a treasure in here. What do we got in here? A Soma drop, nice. Let's see. I think that's about it. Let's just fill out the map over here and then we'll head back out. Oh good, more of these guys. Let's see. Don't really have a whole lot on these two. I do have Zan over on Gale, but we'll get to him in a second. So we'll just do what we did with those Kelpies. Do that, and then we'll do this. Bada bing, bada boom, and then they go. Off they go. And that'll get Arjula to level 7. Gale's the only one dragging a little behind, but that's okay. Arjula got all the stats that don't matter for her this level, but no big deal, and she got a luck increase. That was just about one of the worst levels that Arjula could get, actually. But that's okay. Her stats will be fine as we go along in the game. It's no big deal. Okay, Yakuza and Elp. Let's see, so probably this would be best to start us off. Let's do this to get us on a good footing with the Yakuza. And then, bah! That strength level will put it to use, Arjula. Let you whack things upside the head. Ooh, chakra drop. That will help. Alright, so now we just have the one path left, and it leads to the exit and one other door, as I recall. So let's go see what we can do over there, shall we? Okay, so same thing as last time, I suppose. We unfortunately don't have any way of preventing physical attacks from dealing lots of damage to us just yet, so those Yakusas, excuse me, are a little bit of a threat, but we'll be alright. More chakra drops, thank you. I think that's the Alp dropping those, but I'm not 100% sure. The drop rates in this game are a bit of a mystery to me. I could probably look them up, and like, there's a bestiary on Game Facts that I used liberally when I played the game through for myself the first time. I didn't really end up using the Analyze or Spyglass skills all that much because I just had that there. But for the streams, I'll probably try to use the skills a little more. Oh good, nice dodge. I was going to say, is this going to be exactly like it was in the stream where I almost died right before the save point? But no, not quite yet, anyway. So when he's frightened, Devour skills, as I said before, they will ignore his physical defense and do 3 times the damage that they normally do. So use them, because they will do a lot more damage than Surf could otherwise do at this moment. There we go. Imagine if everyone had upgrades to their demon forms. Imagine a tier 2 Gale. Just a fancier leaf cloak. Oh, that'd be pretty cool. If everybody upgraded their demon forms to like tier 2 demon forms. Alright, I'm going to try to make a beeline for the save point because the game is obviously trying to kill me at the moment, so I will just do the best I can by trying to get there. Okay, they voided Earth, so Arjula just stand pat. We'll do this the hard way. And just whack him upside the head, I guess. Okay. There goes that guy. More Void Earth. You're just delaying the inevitable, sir, but if you want to do that, I will oblige. Just keep whacking him with Fufu. And then whack him upside the head. There you go. Easy as that. Alright, so let's get to the save point. Once we're at the save point, then we can kind of explore the area a little more. Just make a beeline there now. Maybe one more encounter before we get there. Nope, I've lucked out. The door to the right of the save point, by the way, don't go through it just yet. Make sure you explore the whole area first before you do that, so. Let's save right here. Okay. And now let's go exploring. And then once we're done exploring, then we can head through that door. Alright, so fill out the map a little bit. Nothing in the dumpsters, unfortunately. They won't even let me look. They're like, you don't need to go trash diving. You're a demon, but that don't mean you gotta be that hurting for resources. Don't be that desperate. 4 Zen. You know what time it is. It's a good time for Mabufu. And there you go. Easy as that. You can also use Micronova if it's a situation where there's like a whole bunch of enemies that don't have a particular weakness. Like if you're wanting to kill those Andras pretty quickly, just get to Surf's turn and then use Micronova because the damage of the spell is dependent on the magic stat of the person that initiates it. So, yeah, it'll do a lot of damage that way. Okay, Gale got magic. Gale's also been finding quite a few items, so that's good. Well, I'm glad your head does that. I don't know how or why, but we got a disache from him, so that's pretty good. Not that we need a disache all that badly just yet. You can probably get a stomachache if you've been doing a lot of devouring in here, but I would imagine it's not that common in the first dungeon. Maybe in later dungeons. Okay, revival gem, nice. And over here, we've got a couple of sonic stones. Nice, so those will come in a little handy for us. All right, back to the save point we go. We filled out the area, so now we can save and then we can move right along. We have the initiative, so let's just do this. And whack these guys upside the head. I'm gonna do this. Oh, nice. That will at least let me do this, too. And there you go. Don't even need to get around and do another Terra. We just took care of them in an instant, and they gave us a revival bead. Good. All good stuff. Okay, so now that that's the case, let's head over to the save point. I guess we'll get into one more battle before that. No big deal. Get used to fighting these Andresses. They're not going to show up in later dungeons, but, well, they'll show up in just a few moments here. So, just going to whack this guy in the face. There we go. And then Terra this one. And then Bufu this one. And there you go. Efficient press turn usage. We're actually almost level 8 with Surf, which is pretty absurd. I think we were only just barely at 7 when I played this the first time, so. Alright, Argela, let's top everybody off. I'm going to use a few of those chakra drops we have. We'll get more, so don't worry about it if you use a few of them already. Yeah, we should give some to Surf anyway, because he'll need the MP for what we're about to go do, so. And again, remember to have the shot shell set on Gale if you're following along, because we'll be using that in just a few moments to do some major damage, as you'll see. But with this party order, we should be good to go. Let's save again, and then we'll head through the door. Right?
Right.
Right.
Right. What am I agreeing with?
I don't know. What are you agreeing with?
You're the one who said right.
I know. I forgot. Just don't teleport back to the large terminal, whatever you do. I mean, unless you like grinding, but you'd only be grinding for EXP because, well, you can't get new mantras just yet, so just don't use teleport, whatever you do. Okay, strong presence behind the door. Let's see what they have waiting for us behind this one.
Ow.
Stop that.
No.
Stop that, or your neck is going to end up being as sore as this guy's. That's a big one. Apparently it's not enough to get through this door.
I'll tear those tusks right off your face.
What he said.
Oh, will you now? They insulted our intelligence. Kill them! It's not very nice.
Get him, Surf. Get him.
Yeah, get him.
We insulted them already for you, so now they're angry. Kill them!
He reminds me of Cielo.
Wah, wah. Alright, fine. I guess you softened them up mentally for us. So let's soften them up physically, shall we? Don't use teleport. Use return in Hawkman or normal mode. Something like that, yeah. Okay, so the boss of the area is Vaitala, and he has 2 Andresses flanking him. So let's see what we can do about that, shall we? They're still weak to Terra, so that should help us out a little bit, so just get off some damage while you're at it. Ideally, we'll kill 1 Andres per round, but that doesn't necessarily always happen, so we'll just see if we can. If not, it's no big deal, but try to if you can. And then just whack him upside the head. Okay, we barely didn't get him there, and that will mean he'll Void Force, but that's not a huge deal. The major deal is the Vaitala, because he'll start body rushing, and that will hurt a little bit. You still don't want to use Argela's turn to heal, though. Just use some of the rations on Gale's turn, because he's the one with the least amount of damage output in this particular section of the fight. So if you need to heal, just do that, which I'm going to do right about now. So here you go, Surf. Have a ration. And we should be able to finish up this Andres next round now. Probably close, but not quite. Yeah. They will use Void Force, which should clue you in as to what the Vaitala is weak to, so Yeah, but we'll worry about that later. So let's just do this. We'll let him thunk Gale in the face a little bit. Let's get rid of the Andres. There we go. Now that the Andreses are taken care of, we no longer have to worry about Void Force. So now we're going to have Gale revert to human form. Oh boy, time for human form strats. Alright, but before we do anything with that, let's top him off a little bit. Now we can have Argela heal because this guy, I believe, voids Earth, if I recall correctly. So yeah, I don't really want to do a whole lot with that. Now, as you may recall, we have access to Wind Shot with Gale. So let's do that, shall we? And that won't do a huge chunk of damage, but if you get lucky when him and Surf do it, you can get 2 hits for about 50 damage each, as you'll see here. There you go. See? Much better.
Just a little bit better.
And, yeah, we can still have Gale just ration people up while we're at it. Just go from there. Although I really didn't need to do that because now he doesn't really have much for Argela to do. I guess just whack him upside the head. There you go. Okay, so this will clue you in as to what he's about to do because the word ground is in it, so, give you an idea about, and he's weak to force, so if you don't know what shield to put up at this point, I'm not sure if I know what to tell you. Use Void Earth, because it will come in very handy for us, and then just keep whacking him with Wind Shot. And before long, he should be down, depending on how many shots we get off on each one. Again, it's like 1 to 2 hits on everything, so you want to get 2 ideally, but if you don't, no big deal. Also, try to do this with Surf as well, because again, the damage that it deals is dependent on the person that initiates it, but Surf has a higher magic multiplier, so it'll get Gale just a little more damage when he hits things. So, and yeah, as you can see, Terra Burst, but we have Void Earth, so now we don't got to worry about that. Keep shooting, and eventually he'll go down. Should go down before Gale runs out of MP, too, especially if we keep getting 2 shots, so... I hope you like that wind sound effect, because we're going to be hearing it just a little bit here. No big deal, though. Trying to let Gale use his gun while I can, because you don't often get a chance to have Gale or CeeLo or Heat use their guns, because they...
More, Snake.
Yeah, hurt me more, Snake! Oh, I don't know about that, sir. I think you're just...
Insane.
Maybe just a little bit. Alright, let's bring it home, Gale. Yeah, trying to get him to shoot while I can, because... you don't often get the chance to let him shoot, so... And there you go. There goes Vatala. You could do it with just your demon forms if you want, but I find that that goes a little quicker because of the shot shell being... like, with the shot shell, it makes your wind shots a little stronger than just using Zan over and over, especially if you get 2 hits, so... We got a Brave Ration and a level up for Surf. Awesome. Let's see. So this is an even level. So that is, we did this and that, but that doesn't look right. It looks like we've got more vitality than magic. Maybe I did this wrong. Let's see. Would that be right? Let's see. Vitality 2 and magic 4 each level. So we started with 4 magic, so that's 13. Or... I don't fucking know. Just do that for now. It's fine. We don't gotta be that, like... in depth with it. I mean, as long as you're leveling vitality and magic, it doesn't matter, but I'm trying to eat magic a little ahead of vitality, so... Oh, what'd you eat, Surf? A Disache. Well, probably the bottle doesn't taste very good, but the Disache itself, it might be, you know, a little bit better for your stomach. So... Don't shoot! We're friends! Oh wait, they can't hear us through the door.
What's that?
Password.
Out of my way!
So I have a thought. You may recall from that journal before that guy mentioned a girl named Catherine. I'm thinking this is Catherine.
It's Fred! He must have beat those Karma Society guys!
And apparently she knows the password.
It's our secret signal! It has to be him!
Yeah, how would the Karma soldiers know that?
Stupid gate!
Well, what do you think, Chief? I think I need a drink. It's always 5 o'clock now that the sun's up 24 hours a day.
Get through eventually.
Stop!
Open it.
Password. password is not Maria. It's 4 letters, so yeah, that doesn't work.
Clunk.
Go shoot, we're friends. Did I hear that right? It's probably what they heard on the other side of the gate. Considering we had to say it muffled through the whole thing.
Thanks to us, you can go back to sitting on your asses all day.
Boy. Give credit where credit's due there, Fred. I mean, I guess it was all of us, but, you know.
Look at them. I think they were the guy we captured.
Excuse me. They're just flinging Fred around because they're just so happy to see each other.
Would you happen to know Cielo?
I do.
You know Cielo?
In a way.
He's safe with us.
Oh, good.
I'm Roland of Locapala. Welcome.
Well, that's 4 of us. Now we just gotta find Heat.
Where the flying fiddlesticks he is.
Yeah, he's probably getting into all sorts of trouble. He's basically a Krogan, so I mean, you know, wherever he runs around to, he's gonna get himself in trouble. Well, anyway, we can head to the underground city now, so that's where we're gonna go. If you ever want to come back here, by the way, you can just leave through the exit that we're gonna end up next to, right here. So, and that will come in handy for exactly one side quest later in the game. So, what's up, Argela? Yeah, not really. So we can tell we don't have access to. I don't have access to Agidine anymore. What am I supposed to do? So. Not really. It is kind of a weird phenomenon, isn't it? It might be similar, I think Argela even mentions this later in the game, but it might be similar to how when Sarah entered the junkyard, she lost her memory of the outside world, so. That's a thought. Maybe the same sort of thing happened to us, but not in terms of our minds, just in terms of our abilities, so. What, the save terminal? Yeah, small terminal. Oh, nice. Well, it's used for something useful for us, but not for you, so don't worry about it.
That brings up the question, what the hell is canonically saving the game in this? Are you, like, backing up your data to this terminal?
I mean,
and every time you die, you just reset at this point?
I mean, probably.
What the fuck? What?
So yes, Lokpala means Guardians of the Gods, roughly. So, I think that's relevant. I'm sure if it's not right now, it will be. So, alright, so let's recover and we'll save. We gotta go see this Roland character, and he's off to the east. But first, let's check out the shop that's over here and check out this gentleman standing next to it. And then we'll go see what Roland's got going on with him and CeeLo. Also gonna have to reorder my party in a couple of minutes, but we'll worry about that later.
I want to order this for the drip, but I already have a map.
Why would you want to order that, considering...
Because that's the deck I play.
For now.
Yeah, I know.
Ah, okay. Shop's not open just yet. Maybe later. And this guy, well, he doesn't want anything to do with us, but if you try to go out over here... Ah, okay, cool. Thanks for the directions, bro. I appreciate it. So yeah, we gotta go to the right here. So that's where we're gonna go. Not enough sleep there, bro?
Nah, I slept enough. I just yawn.
I get that.
Protect and don't protect.
Yeah, and they don't think much better of the people they're protecting, frankly. But we'll get into that later. No Atma among them, which kind of puts them at a bit of a disadvantage now, doesn't it? Yeah, I know, but... we can use Atma to transform into demons, so again, we have a bit of an advantage over all of you guys, so...
So stay away from me. I never understood why people are afraid of the people who walked up and saved their lives and didn't crack the door open and start eating.
Yeah, I mean, we saved them with a terrible power that they've been fighting their whole lives, so their paradigm is probably all over the place at that point. They're like, you saved me, but you're evil, but you say... So their brain's going in 20 different directions.
Like, if you were a group of 3 demons who wanted to get a bite to eat, why would you play the long game, save an entire city from the Karma Society, not eat any of them, and then, like, go in, make friends, and then kill everyone? That doesn't make any sense if you're hungry.
To be fair, we did eat the Karma Society people on the way here. So,
Exactly, you're not even hungry. There's no reason.
Well, you haven't seen me in demon form, sir. I grow to 8 feet tall. So.
8 feet tall, and you can spit lightning and ice at people.
Whack them with my bone swords. Well, it's on my face, Adel. It's kind of hard not to see. I like how he puts his hands up like, God, why? Must have been a preacher or something in a previous life. You know, before the apocalypse. Okay, sure. I got nothing better to do around here, so let's see what word you have with us.
I feel like if Sark was a more active protagonist, that mark on his face would drive him nuts. Not even like the demon power, just like tattoo on your face.
Trouble.
It's like Gale adjusts his glasses all the time, even though he doesn't have any. Surf is just like scratching his cheek all the time, trying to get it off.
After his father died.
Oh, well, sorry to hear that, Fred.
Where is Cielo?
But there are more pressing matters for us.
Well,
his hand is shaking.
we thought the society sent him. Your
What,
friends
Roland's? I
nearby.
mean, he drinks a lot, so... Is that shocking? Argela, I don't know if I would drink that.
What is this?
It's perfect.
You know, you don't seem artificial.
Well, we awaken to our emotions inside the junkyard, so,
Take a look.
And now we get the answers to all our burning questions, or at least a few of them.
The junkyard?
Actually, it's called Asura Project. Stage 1.
Yeah, I don't think we
It's
knew
a
it by that
vehicle
name.
Designed for urban warfare.
So yes, as if you didn't remember from the previous game,
And that
it was a
world
simulation.
we're in. Our programs the Cyber Shaman created for the society.
That Sarah created.
You seriously need to lay off the booze.
I can understand how this would sound insane to you, Fred, but it's actually true.
It was designed to develop combat enhancement AI, to be implanted in live soldiers. You were going to be programmed into microchips.
Great! Fantastic!
Stage 1 is a coliseum for selecting the most effective AI
And by most effective AI, they mean the ones that befriended Sarah.
that man stole from God.
Oh, fantastic. She did drink that without any hesitation and immediately regretted it.
God.
Yes, God.
The sun is
30
God.
years ago, at the end of the 20th century, crises erupted worldwide. Mutated pathogens, abnormal weather patterns, collapsed ecosystems.
I said it before, I'll say it again. Damn it, Y2K, you just can't leave us alone.
Historically, a genius always emerges in troubled times.
10
10 years ago, one such individual found the source of these problems.
I think I recognize at least one of the people in this picture. And you will too.
National Environmental Stabilization Committee.
It's her.
The final boss!
But your hopes and beliefs.
She didn't seem like the kind of person who would try to stabilize anything
She
when we
stated
met
the
her, though.
disasters were caused by data from the sun, hidden discreetly within its rays.
That's a hell of a jump, but she was right.
Gigantic body of accumulated data. She said he was there from the beginning, influencing Earth and its development.
Well, at least God isn't a tiny Amish man on the Game Boy screen this time.
And what does this god have to do with us?
What could he want from me? That's another long story.
Chug.
Man is God's accursed son. We use our knowledge to find new ways of killing.
And that makes him angry.
The society was formed to survive our tribulation, but the army corrupted it, and you were created.
Great.
However, knowledge alone cannot create a perfect AI.
Not the way that they wanted to use it, so.
You said she created us.
A medium between God and man. She is the only one with the ability to extract data from God, the society's very foundation.
Uh-huh.
Sarah works for the society?
Doesn't seem like it's done on
We risked our
purpose, though.
lives for her. You're saying none of that matters?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You can't fight your programming.
Sarah cared about us.
And again, it looks like she's
Artists
being
can
held
feel love
hostage.
for a masterpiece sometimes.
Shut up!
Maybe read the room there, Roland.
Oh, shit.
She was a friend, and Argela does not take kindly to when you talk bad about her friends.
Calm yourself.
Well, it's a good thing we just ate, otherwise she might not have been able to.
Argela was really about to fuck this man's day up with no hesitation.
She was.
Tell me, how did you learn of all this?
That is a fair question.
We have a mole in the society.
Ah.
How can you verify the information's authenticity?
This disk of composite data, we received it just before you arrived.
From your mole, I would assume.
A complex electromagnetic wave pattern. Our test subject became a demon like you.
You infected someone with the demon virus?
There's your existence.
Man, post-apocalypse is heavy.
We have to believe.
I mistakenly thought he was talking about CeeLo at this point when we played for the stream blind. He was talking about just some random dude, not CeeLo. So, they just infected some random member of the Lokpala who I would assume volunteered with the demon virus.
Do you know what happened in the Karma Society 5 years ago?
Yeah, he's not exactly well-versed with tact. He's the leader, but in name only, Conquer.
He claimed that you had all died, according to Cielo.
Yeah, he mentioned that when he bit the big one.
That is not his face.
He looked a little different in the simulation.
Back then, he oversaw the Asura project. He died when God went mad. A man who died in this world claims an AI killed him. Doesn't make sense.
Unless something weird is afoot.
Baron are supposed to be programs. Something happened that day. Only the cyber shaman knows the truth, linking you to the society.
And that's why we're valuable to you.
Get to the point. What is it you want?
Bring us the cyber shaman.
Well, we were going to go look for her anyway, but
That there are orphans like Fred.
not if you're going to
But
try to,
without the
you know,
shaman's
judge, jury, and executioner her.
we have no hope.
And in exchange,
We'll give you the infiltration route and all necessary supplies.
I mean, that's nice, but
while Cielo remains captive, unacceptable.
yeah, you kind of need to include our friend in the formula there, sir.
You mentioned a test subject who became like us. We need manpower.
And if you're not going to give us
You
CeeLo,
want us to become monsters?
well, I mean,
The tongue. I did not ask you to accompany us.
not you specifically.
Unless the test subject cannot.
You have a demon, let's see the demon. Unless...
You killed him.
yeah.
True?
They infected
Roland?
a volunteer with the demon
Could
virus.
have lost control. We
He
had
didn't
to.
even lose it, and they just murdered him.
Nothing but coercion.
What the fuck, Roland?
You have no honor.
Are you out of your mind?
How dare you slander us?
Well, when you do stuff like that, you're no better than the Karma Society.
That we become frightful monsters.
But at least we don't hide behind it.
The people of the junkyard fought for their very survival. I will not accept that it was all just an illusion.
I mean, it was a simulation, but, we'd like to fight for a better world.
Of Nirvana. Lupa died in vain.
Damn, Gale, throwing the shade. But it's alright, man. We got a friend to think about. 2 of them, actually. I mean, 3, depending on where Heat is.
You needn't say anything. We will agree to your terms.
But not to help you.
Not to help you,
Yeah.
but for Sarah's sake. And for Fred.
And for CeeLo. Don't forget him.
Gil!
Gale's such a fucking...
Take care, Cielo.
Like I told you before, Gale gets all the good lines in this game.
First, Argela let the fuck these people up, and then Gale's like, yo, sit down for a minute, I got this. I'll murder them with words. I don't need violence.
Yeah, CeeLo, Heat, and Sarah, yeah. Those are our 3 that we got to worry about. Roland, Fred is about to give you a stern talking to, so I hope you're ready. Yeah, see, his hands are shaking again. That's the age and the drinking talking. Okay, well, at least they're willing to cooperate somewhat now.
I don't think they have a choice.
Yeah, after what Gale just did to them, I wouldn't have much of a choice either. Okay, so we can go through the underground cable station to get to a hidden section of the Karma City, which will allow us to figure out our foothold and try to get access to all of the different people that we're looking for, who are ideally all in Karma City. We also get a hacking disc, which lets us learn new mantras from the terminals. Yes, thank you, Adel. And he also gives us 2 medical kits and a frigid shot. Very nice. Well, I'll do the best I can. Thank you. That's more generous than I figured you'd be.
I find it incredibly amusing that, like, at a point in that conversation, in that cutscene, you realize these 3 have all the power.
Mm-hmm. Well, they do. They're the ones with the bargaining chips at the moment, because they're the ones that can turn into demons. Without us, the Lokpala can't do shit. So, other than, you know, be like, CeeLo, what do you know about the Karma Society? I don't know anything! And then they just torture him, so...
And CeeLo's part demon, so realistically CeeLo could just leave whenever the hell he wants.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying not to, you know, kill these people, I think. I'd like to give CeeLo a little credit, so...
He's trying.
Frigid shot. Who wants the frigid shot?
We also know
it's 32 power with freeze chance, so... I'll give it to Arjula. I think it's the strongest shot we're going to get for a little while, so I might as well give it to her, and then we'll go from there. The same. Somehow you're forgetting someone as well. Just can't count. That's okay.
1, 2, skip.
I'm here to count for you just in case, so... Well, they shouldn't. I mean, I understand why they would, considering, you know, it's the post-apocalypse, but can't give up hope just because shit ain't going your way, you know, for 5 whole years. Okay, maybe you can. Okay, so where's the vendor at? A vendor, as in a person that purchases and sells items. Are you deaf? I think it meant something else in Japanese, though, so that's why he's reacting like, what the hell are you talking about? We don't have vendors here. It's like, that's what a shop is, dude. What do you mean? Well, that is true. A little bit of both. That is true as well, but do you have a spyglass with which to figure out our weakness? That's what I thought. Yeah, and that's the idea, is that Roland is the leader, but this Greg guy that was the leader before Roland took over probably had a little more tact than Roland does. Roland wants to be a turtle. He just wants to, or an ostrich. He wants to stick his head in the sand and hope it all passes. And sometimes you can't do that, especially when it's a situation like this where we got literally nothing to lose other than our lives. So, I think he would have eaten Roland if he heard that, Arjula. Just a thought. Well, let's not worry about that for now. Let's worry about that when we can get answers from the people that they're actually talking about, so... Yeah, so I guess it's in our best interest to try to figure things out. So apparently there is nighttime in the world. It just takes a while for it to happen. As a matter of fact, thinking about it, I think this whole game takes place over only the course of a few days in the real world, so...
Which I find to be incredibly amusing, considering everything that happens.
And the fact that sometimes it takes hours to get through an area because you have to keep killing things, but... Yeah, this game is bonkers, dude. Considering the fact that, again, it only happens in a matter of a few short days, so... Yeah, so we managed to play this before it became the past for us, so that's, you know, good. JoJo Part 5 takes place over the course of a week? Oh, Jesus. It's a whole season over a week. Well, maybe if we make it to Karma City, you'll be able to see an artificial park. I'm sure they've got plants over there.
Wait, Golden Wind takes place over a week? What the fuck?!
What do you mean? Oh, okay. So apparently he's got access to some special ammo. Unfortunately, we don't get access to that ammo because our ammo, it doesn't do elemental damage. We can do the status effects related to elemental damage with some stuff, like the frigid shot, but it's not ice elemental, so Apparently it's not mass-produced, and, well, considering this game takes place over the course of only a few days, mass production is kind of out of the question. Yeah, maybe. I mean, you know, the whole ozone barrier was created by plants, so if we destroy nature, the ozone kind of doesn't protect us from malignant solar data. I mean, it's the same in real life, except we're not going to get killed by malignant solar data. We're just going to get killed by malignant sunlight.
Well, you know.
UV radiation. I don't think any of these guys say anything new other than Catherine, quote-unquote. Don't know if it's actually Catherine, but... Oh, okay. It makes me wonder, though, if when they say that these kids go outside to find useful stuff, if they mean to the occupied sector or outside in the sunlight, in which case these kids would have access to Atma, which, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm glad there's no Digital Devil Saga 3 where these kids have to actually use that latent Atma power, but I could be not reading that correctly. Probably, honestly. Not gonna lie, you had to try and remember what was part 5 of JoJo, and yeah, it does actually take place over the course of a week. It's not safe, though. Oh boy. Yeah, it's, again, for a whole season of anime, it seems like it taking place over a week is like, whoa, you know? No, not really, so. Well, where do I get the money? Do you guys not have Maka here? Or use tag rings? It's a tag ring, so. Oh, okay, cool. So Surf's tag ring can be sold at the beginning of the game, and depending on how much money you had in the first game, it will sell for a different amount of money. We had over 1 million Maka in the first game when we ended the game because we had nothing else to buy, so it sells for $20,000, which is a pretty nice little nest egg for us to start with, so. So much shit happens in the first 3 to 4 days. Oh boy. Well, I know what it means, but it might not mean much to you there, Kathy, speaking of which. That's a huge jump. That's not even what I'm... I have... Just let me hold... I'm holding Arjula in front of you. Why would I ever need to flirt with you? I have this. Stop it. Anyway, you can sell some stuff if you want. Like, I might end up actually selling the Soma drop at some point because it sells for $5,000, which is pretty nice at the moment. We might need the money, but for now we've got 20,000, so we don't need the money that badly. We could probably buy a few things, though. What do I want to buy? I guess I'll buy a few rations. Just, we'll get up to, well, do I need to get up to 15? Not particularly. We'll get enough of those anyway. Let's get a few disc poisons. Yeah, we had nothing else to buy. Death flies screaming in the corner. Nothing else to buy that I would have finished by the end game anyway. Okay, so yes, there is a point system to the Mad Mart, and basically every time you buy or sell items, you get points. And yeah, there's a rank to the shop, and every time you get a rank increase, they'll offer new and better items. They'll be a little more expensive, but it pays because obviously the items will be better, so. Excuse me. And yeah, that's what she just said, so. Also, items are sold for less money, and you can sell your items to the Mad Mart for more money when you get to a higher rank. So basically every $100 that you spend in the Mad Mart equates to 1 point. So if you want to make the most of the point system, try to buy things in a little bit of bulk, but basically you want to buy them so that you use an even amount. So like with the Disaches or Dismutes where they're worth 150, you want to buy 4 of them so that you don't end up going half-seas and losing out on a point. Because if you buy for 450, you're only going to get 4 points. So try to buy up to a round number, basically, when you buy these things. So we'll buy these. I'll get a few disc stones as well. We're not really going to use them for a while, but they'll be there just in case. Disc curses, I don't think we'll use those for a while either, but yeah, we'll have some. And Panaceas, yeah, I'll buy a few more of them. It's a good idea to try to spend a little money while you're here, just so that way you can kind of start getting a head start on the points that you have there, so. We're at rank 1, and in order to get to rank 2, we need to spend another $5,800. And apparently Kathy has a surprise waiting for us at that point. We could buy a charge shot right now, and that would get us an extra 20 points, but I don't think that's entirely necessary. And besides, we'll need the money anyway to start buying some mantras now that we have the hacking disc, so. I'm gonna go do that. Speaking of which, so let's head over to the save point. And if we install the hacking disk, or rather just use it on the Karma terminal, we can access mantras by using the get mantra part of the terminal to get some new stuff. But before I do that, I'm just going to save real quick. So you may recall from previously, if you watched the previous iteration of this stream, that I had a specific plan for each particular character. I have tweaked those plans slightly, but a good chunk of them are pretty well the same. I'll explain what I want for each character as we go here, and there will be certain priorities to the characters when we do this. Do I want to see the tutorial? Now, I can kind of explain it as we go. So, the mantra grid is a little bit different in this game than it was in DDS1. In DDS1, if you wanted a particular type of mantra, you could basically learn it in a straight line. In this game, it's a hexagonal grid. This is what it looks like for now, and as we learn more mantras, the grid will expand further and further outward until we get access to all of the best stuff. Now, the way that this grid is laid out means you can theoretically learn skills that are like way high level without learning the skills that are before them. So like, if I wanted to, if I went around in a certain direction here, I could end up learning Xandine for Gale before learning the rest of the Xan skills before it. But I don't think I'm going to particularly do that, so I've got a plan for how I'm going to do this stuff, and we will see what it is. The main plan for right now, though, is we have to get Gale and Argela Devour. Both of them need that in order to be able to keep up with Surf when it comes to mantra learning, so definitely want to learn Devourer for them for now. Now, in terms of what everybody's going to be learning and what they're going to be prioritizing over time, what do we have here? So hunt skills are always going to be a priority for everybody. But each character is going to work on different things depending on who they are. For Surf, I'm going to have him be working on similar stuff to what he had in DDS1. He's going to work on fire and ice skills because he's good at ice already, and fire is his weakness, so it's good to work on that to get a resistance eventually. In addition to that, he's also going to learn how to use status effects, so ailments, and buffs. So those are going to be the main things that I work on with him. And the thing that I want to work on with him right now is probably just Fire Spirit, right? Yeah, because he just got Devourer, so we eventually will want him to learn Spirit up here to get Teru Kaja and Maka Jam. Those will be both useful for us. And also we want him to work on, what's the other one? Shura? Yeah, Shura, because Shura will be useful in getting us to the devouring skills that we need. Shura it's a physical attacking one, not a hunting skill one, but we'll still want to get it for him because it's the quickest way to all of the hunt skills that I actually care about. But for now, let's get Fire Spirit going on him so we can start working on getting access to all 5 elements. For Argela, she's going to be working on... She's going to be a little bit different than how she was in DDS1. We had her working on Earth and Wind in that one, and in this one we're going to have her working on... let's see here. We're still going to have her working on Wind. I'm just looking at my notes, sorry. Once she's done with Devourer, we're still going to have her working on Wind because that's her weakness, but we also want her to learn Ice skills instead of Earth skills, so we won't be learning any more Earth Spirit after this with her. But we'll work on Devourer for now first. As for Gale, like I said, he's going to learn a few physical skills because they'll come in handy for him. He's a little bit stronger in the physical department than most of the people that we get in our party. Not all of them, most of them. And in addition to that, he's going to work on electricity because that's his weakness, and also he's going to work on fire. That combination of skills for Gale actually means that he's going to need to be the person that takes the highest priority with certain skills over the course of the entire game because of what he's going to be working on. Oh, and in addition to that, I should mention there are other things they're going to work on. Argela is going to work on healing and light and dark skills, which are going to be over here. This is a healing skill right here. Here's Medea, along with a bunch of other things. And if we keep going past Bolt Wizard here, once the grid expands, we'll gain access to light and dark skills, which she'll also be using. And as for Gale, he's going to work on physical skills, like I just said, and he's also going to work on light and dark skills. Now, working on physical skills will let him get access to some passive skills, like First Strike eventually, but also he's going to work on light and dark skills himself. The main thing we want to do for right now is we want to get everybody Devourer who doesn't have it. We want to get access to all the level 1 skills, and we also want to gain access eventually to the level 2 mantra Angel for Argela and Gale, because they're going to be working on the light and dark skills. For Surf, he's going to want to work on the level 2 Adamant mantra, but we'll work on that as we go, and I'll make sure that I mention it as we go along. I think I missed what you just said, Marie, after the Etrian Odyssey 1 thing, because I was looking at my notes the whole time, and it disconnected me from chat before showing what you had on there. So Pedestrian Odyssey 1. Save before you spend SP on new skill levels, because some skills don't do anything because of bad coding, so you might want to save before you blow all your SP. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I like saving in this one just before learning mantras in a lot of cases as well. I have a plan for what I want to buy, but if you are playing this blind or for the first time and you're not 100% sure about what you want to buy, probably a good idea to save before purchasing anything, because otherwise, well, you could be in for a bit of a problem. So, well, anyway, we've got some items, we've got some mantras to learn now, so let's head down into the underwater cable station, shall we? I mean, if you want me to run around naked, I sure will, but I would think that you wouldn't want to look at me. You just said you don't think you'd trust a leader like me, considering how skinny I am. There'd be nothing to see, sir. Anyway, let's get on the elevator with Mr. Sarcastic and head down to the underwater cable station. Psst, buy death flies on your first blind run. Yeah. Oh, it would come in handy if you were able to learn it, that's for sure, because, you could basically kill anything that was not resistant to Death Elemental in like one hit, if you had it. But yeah, I didn't have it in DDS1, and I don't think we'll gain access to it in DDS2. I think the Super Boss has access, like lets us get access to the Deathflies mantra, but don't think it's a Super Boss that I'll be fighting, so. I don't know about that. Again, none of you have access to Mantra Atma, so probably not. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean we have to listen to what they're saying. Yeah, we did what we had to live, Argela, so they can try to shame us all they want. Doesn't mean that we have to listen to them. We killed Data Lord of the Flies. F, he's still alive. Somewhere in the real world. Perhaps. We'll have to find out as we go along here. But first, we got to go through the underwater cable station, so let's go do that, shall we? And yes, this all takes place in the northwestern United States, which would, I don't know, maybe it's an offshoot from what happened in Nocturne, which mainly takes place in Tokyo? I don't know. But anyway, it leads to Karma City. And the society apparently hasn't really explored this place all that much, but yeah, eventually we'll get to New Portland, so. Jimmy only killed the data version of Lord of the Flies, so the not data version should be out there somewhere. Yeah, probably, so. Actually, this guy has some interesting things to say for both of his things here. I think which tribe is that is just funny, but both of these are good, so we're going to ask him for both of them in a second. Oh my god, dude.
Cabra.
Anyway, let's hear what he says about this other thing. Because it kind of lampshades something that I've been talking about through the whole stream, so. Well, maybe. Right. Well, I would choose the one that's weak to fire, because that'll let me get a resistance. Good luck with that. But yeah, that's the developers kind of lampshading the fact that most people built their characters to cover people's weaknesses in DDS1, from what I understand. So, he's alive so that he can fight the Demi-Fiend. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, so we'll just, No, I mean, we're not gonna... Okay, we're not gonna eat you. The society probably would, but we're gonna try to eat them first, so... You can say that, but... You don't know me, Adel. What the hell? Okay, well, I'll see what I can do for you, sir. Alright, let's head into the underwater cable station, shall we? See what we can do about these Karma Society gentle folk who are totally not gentle folk that are living inside of here, or trying to, I don't know, stop us from, you know, doing good things for other people.
Hey, you want to see something freaky?
What? It's a crocodile running like a dog. That's funny.
So you remember how they mentioned that fucking crocodiles have like a really high top speed? Mm-hmm. That's how they run.
Yeah. Yeah, they run like a dog, yeah.
They gallop.
They do, they gallop.
I find that will simultaneously to be the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life, and also kind of hilarious.
I mean, when I tell you crocodiles are killing machines, that's what they're made to do, bro. They kill everything that they come across. If they're pissed off, get out of the way. Far out of the way.
So just get on an ATV and pray to God you don't crash.
Still going for true demon ending, hardest run first, baby. No, and you should. I think you should, because playing Nocturne on hard mode blind for your first run, I think that's the best way to experience the game, because you get the sense of the oppressive atmosphere that the game is trying to go for in order for its themes to come across the best. So I still say go for it. They don't have real emotions until they self-actualize. Is that how Xana decided to become genocidal in Code Lyoko? Probably. Oh boy, we're bringing up Code Lyoko again. God, I haven't seen that show in forever.
Oh my lord. Childhood go burr.
I think to the right there is just the way forward, so we're going to go over here, because I think it's just a chest over here, and then we can move along. Yeah, that's what I thought. I remember some of these dungeons like the back of my hand. Probably primacy and recency is going to take effect, though, because eventually I'm going to not remember the stuff in the middle, and then we'll get to the end, and I'll be like, yeah, I know this place like the back of my hand, too. Oh, well, we'll figure it out as we go. I'll talk to you in a second. Let me fill my map out first. Placate my OCD before it becomes a problem. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to repair the gates, then sure, I appreciate your help there, May. Let's turn on the switch. Hit the big red button, Surf. Self-destruct sequence is activated. Ah, shit! It's okay, Cole. Everyone will return to the past now. God damn it. I can't even say it the way that Jeremy used to say it. That show was some good shit, though. I'll tell you what. Okay, so the repairman's brother is around here somewhere, so if we need help with the switches, we'll either tell him or we'll tell his brother if we can, you know, find him. It's hurting you too, but you're being a gremlin. Fair enough. I was actually watching it again a couple months ago. Some friends, work and school got in the way and we stopped somewhere early in the second season. Maybe you can come back to it once work and school aren't in the way anymore. Meanwhile, hundreds probably of feet above the ground, stabilizing the patient. But who is the patient?
She refuses to obey us.
Well, considering who's talking, I'll give you one guess. They do a lot of convenient censorship in this game, don't they?
She used to be so small.
You know, like that.
Inside, she's still just a 7-year-old.
I don't know about that.
Proceed according to guideline and initiate the lobotomy procedure.
Well, Jesus Christ!
Jenna.
Just because she's not going to obey you? Gonna take her brain out? Well, basically.
She was
Take her
born
frontal
of
lobe
your
out.
own sperm and egg. She's your daughter.
And that's even worse! What the fuck, Angel? Why does Sarah always start naked? Atlas. I mean, that's fair. Maybe a little bit of both.
Please, I'm not that narrow-minded. This body is the least of my concern.
There is actually a... I don't want to say a good reason, but there is a reason why Angel doesn't want Sarah around. We'll get into it later in the game. Just like most things.
Concerned because you've been acting as if you hate everything.
Well, she just lost to a bunch of data, so are you really that shocked?
However, I haven't forsaken humanity yet.
You've forsaken your humanity.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Good to hear. The surgery will not be necessary.
Are you planning to delay the Nirvana project?
Hmm.
Ma'am, there you are. I regret to inform you that some of our information was leaked.
Damn data miners. They're still in this post-apocalyptic future anyway.
How much information was compromised?
We're investigating now. An old fiber optic cable was still operational. We've sent troops to check it out. We're
Yeah,
trying
that
our
seems
best
like
to
a bit of a
determine
stretch, but
suspects.
alright.
What a headache.
I get the feeling Madame Cuvier there already knows who the mole is, who the person who leaked information is. That little head tilt at the end there kind of gives it away.
What is her plan? And why would the operation be unnecessary?
Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Also, what the fuck was that?
Some fucking nonsense.
I do know what that was. I don't know why she's smiling at it, but it might be because it just affirmed a theory that she had. I don't know. We'll talk about that later when we get to that actual sec, because that is actually a dungeon that we'll be going to a little later in the game. So, but for now, we're in the abandoned highway, so we'll just stick it out while we're here. Get some disc stuns, not bad. Why would you hate everything after losing the data? What was the point of the data then? She hates losing, can't handle it? I mean, maybe. I mean, that's fair. All the double agents in this game. There are a lot of double agents in this game. There's quite a few double crossings that happen. Well, maybe it's not that there's a lot, but it is that there's... all the ones that happen are significant, so... but we'll see as we go along here. Oh good, Cole's watching Yakuza videos in the background.
I sometimes revisit this one. Because this one in particular is just amazing. This whole fight's amazing.
Which one is that?
Kuze 3.
Oh, okay, yeah, Kuze 3 was pretty good. Yeah, trust no one, not even yourself. Oh, crap, the Karma Society's already found us? Well, maybe our mole is playing both sides. We should probably go tell the Lokpala about the fact that the Karma Society is here. And if you try to go through the door, I think... no, actually, I think you have to go through the door first before they're like, hey, we should go tell them about this. So, let's go through the door first. Am I ready? Let me just make sure. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm good with this team, the way that it is for now.
Look at this shit.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to use that move on Kuze, but I never got knocked to the ground directly next to him.
That's my favorite action in the game. Kira's like, fuck your chicken strips.
Well, we didn't make this tunnel, you did, and now we're going to use it against you. After we kill you. All good ghouls again. Fantastic. Yeah, that. We do. Again, he has a hee-ho ring. Apparently Jack Frost was pretty big in the real world, too. Now, ice is their weakness, but, well... it's not going to avail them where they're going, because if I recall correctly, it's not their only weakness. I think they might even be weak to Terra as well, which the guy on the right is the one with the hee-ho ring. So you can just use ice perfectly well against the one on the left, so that's what we're going to do to get some press turns.
What the fuck do you mean you have a hee-ho ring? You shifted me up. Oh, God. Ah!
Okay, there's that, and, well, I guess we won't kill the guy with the hee-ho ring this turn, but that's okay. Or we won't kill either of them. I mean, that's fine too, I suppose. I'll just kill you next round. No big deal. I probably should have mad rushed now that I think about it. I probably would have been able to kill them if I did that, but oh well. There goes that one. Next. Jack Frost is adorable. Jack Frost is adorable. He's a great little mascot. 2 Disaches, nice. And if you'll notice, we can finally win money from these battles. Now, because I ended that in 2 rounds, we actually didn't get as much money as we normally would be able to. But, well, there you go. We got some. Arjula also got some vitality and magic, so that's good. And for defeating those guys, you normally just get a power ring from them. If you haven't imported your DDS1 data. But if you imported your DDS1 data and you defeated King Frost, you also get the hee-ho ring. And those would be accessories, karma rings. And they will give bonus effects and bonus stats when you equip them. And that's a nice little change because it allows you to specifically focus certain characters on certain stats, which I think is pretty good. It adds a little bit of variety to what was in the first game, where you basically, all you had to equip was mantras and they didn't really do a whole lot for you. Now you've got rings that'll do essentially very similar things to what, you know, other accessories do in other games, so. Now who do I want to give the hee-ho ring to? It gives vitality, so I think I'm going to give the power ring to Gale and the hee-ho ring to Arjula, just so she has a little extra HP. Let her survive a little longer. Surf can go without one for a little while, so. So the game rewards you for grinding while being over-leveled. Something like that, yeah, I suppose. But you get the most money out of one-rounding everything. You don't even have to be over-leveled to do that, though. Most of the time when you're just in the area, you can one-round most of the stuff if you use your press turns effectively, which we will try to do. So, yeah, there's a mole somewhere. Hopefully it's not our mole, 'cause that wouldn't be good. I mean, that's fair. Maybe they were just an exploration party. I guess that's possible. Now, if you try to go to the stairs, Gale will basically tell you, we should probably go inform the Lokpala that the Karma Society is in the tunnel, and he won't let you proceed until you go tell the repairman. So that's where we're going to go now. We're just going to go tell him about it. Let him know that they should probably be on guard, and then we'll move along from there. Yeah, something very big is wrong. You need to set up a perimeter, because the Karma Society is in the tunnels. So, yeah. Problem officer. Should have told them first, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually go back and tell them before you fight those guys, now that I think about it. I've never tried, but I guess I could have. I didn't think to do it, though. And yeah, his little brother's actually probably behind enemy lines at this point, so hopefully we'll be able to find him before the Karma Society does anything atrocious to him, because Lord knows they're used to doing those sorts of things. So here's their perimeter. No, how could I have even done that? And besides, I just killed the only guys that knew. I mean, they probably put it on the radio, but you know. No trust whatsoever. No respect. Guess respect is earned around here. I can appreciate that. Yeah, well, we're gonna get there. Hopefully we'll be able to get there before you do anything drastic with Cielo and before, you know, the rest of the crazy people do crazy things to you in here, so. I think that was the first time I've actually said Cielo's name correctly. I don't know what in my brain said, yeah, say it as Cielo. I don't know, I've always just said Cielo, so I just sort of stuck with it. But technically it is pronounced Cielo. Just doesn't roll off the tongue as well, you know, at least for me. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, overdoing it. I don't know, I got nothing. Anyway, before we hit that save point up, let's see what's in here. We get a clover. So yes, because it's the post-apocalypse, plants are incredibly rare, and so because they're so rare, you can actually trade them almost like the data that we, or the noise rather, that we found in chests like that back in the simulation in order to get a whole bunch of money. So yeah, good idea to trade it while you got the chance. So, okay, we got a new enemy. We got a Mizuchi. They're weak to fire, which we don't have access to yet, but that will not help them because we also have access to Zan, and they're weak to that too. Why? I don't know, but it does help us quite a bit in this particular situation, so I'm going to use it. And then let's do this. Get rid of that guy, and then do this. They can Pulin you, the Mizuchis, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's not a huge deal for now. I will probably try to spread out the EXP, or rather the Atma, pretty evenly while Argela and Gale are working on Devourer, so we might not get access to Fire Spirit for a little bit, but once they get access to Devourer, things should go very smoothly for us. I hear talk about Best Boy. Yeah, we'll get to him soon enough, I'm sure. Okay, so Argela is confused. That's a bit of a problem. Let's see what we can do. Okay, we got rid of it. That's good. How about we don't avoid ice? Not particularly. I'd rather use the opportunity to get some damage off. Try to get rid of one of the Mizuchis while we're at it, you know? There we go. No, I think you hit the wrong person there, sir. That ain't really gonna help you. No, Argela might toss your money. Yeah, thankfully we didn't have to deal with that. We do need our money in this game, though, that's for sure. We'll worry about that later. Yeah, we got an Ice Blast from those guys, so that's not too bad. We're getting a good chunk of change as well from all of this. But will we be able to make it through the underwater cable station to get to Karma City? Will we be able to do so before they do anything drastic with Silo? And where are Heat and Sarah? Find out on the next episode of Digital Devil Saga 2, the Stream Edition, which will be happening on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I think this is exactly where I saved last time as well, now I think about it. Serendipity. In any case, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream, and I will see all of you on the next one, which will happen, as I said, on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, everybody, take care, have a good one, and Marie, don't even kid about something like that. I would cry. on stream if something like that ever happened. Although, thinking about it, if I had 100,000 Maka, and that like enough to where they would throw away that amount, would I really care about money at that point? I don't know. Questions for later. Maybe we'll figure it out later in the game when I get confused in the final dungeon and throw away 100,000. I don't know. I guess we'll see.